Jack, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. We have more technical difficulties. We're going to have to start blaming me. Apparently, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing around here. But welcome in. The Ciderhaus Rules is a 1984 novel by American writer John Irving. The title refers to a list of rules the workers are supposed to follow. However, none of them can read and thus remain unaware of the rules which have been posted for years. Welcome to the Ciderhaus. I am your host, Mihai Shogor. Today I'm joined by only Jack Kentner. Unfortunately, no John Ward, no Michael Scott with us today. Just the two of us. We got a good program here. We're going to run through these good topics here, Jack, right? Which ones you pick out?
Let's see. Well, we have, besides these, we have a bunch of individual topics that we could go with.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, but today is a very sad day because it's the death of iconic film director David Lynch. And it should be at the top there.
Oh,
yeah.
David Lynch. Who's David Lynch, Jack?
Oh, man, you don't know David Lynch? He directed a whole bunch of great movies. Eraserhead. Oh, there's Michael.
Michael, what are you doing?
David Lynch is dead, Jack?
Huh?
David Lynch is dead?
Yeah, he's dead. He died today.
Are you on the show or are you not on the show?
I'm not.
All right, get out of here then. All right, well, while we're at it, though, let me pull up the chat real quick first to say hi to them, Jack, while I look for that link. I see a couple of regulars in here already.
Yeah.
How we doing? I saw Zeb, Robert Whaley, Mitchell McNeil, Chronic, of course, always hanging with us. We appreciate it. How about the world champions? Let us know how we're doing. I'll make a deal with them right now. Geik's mother joining in. Very nice, very nice. I will make a deal with the chat right now because I know it's not going to happen, but I'll not ruling out anything, I guess. Not, anything's possible. If we get 1,000 super chats today, I will personally walk a bucket of water to California myself from Pennsylvania. You heard it here first. I will walk it myself. Jack, how you been doing?
I've been doing pretty good. Just been chilling out. Not really doing anything of note. Yeah, but this David Lynch, it's a very, very sad day. Like, very iconic director of movies such as Eraserhead, Blue Velvet, Inland Empire, Lost Highway, just tons of great. And how could I forget? Creator of Twin Peaks, probably one of the most creative television shows of all time. Just very brilliant man. The world lost a great talent today. You haven't heard of any of his films?
No, I'll be honest, Jack. I didn't. Every single film I have not heard a single one of those.
Oh man, you should start checking those out.
I might have to. I'll take your word for it. You seem. I mean, I would definitely lean on you when it comes to movie recommendations rather than I would lean on myself. So whatever that's worth.
Yeah, but chat,
also,
are you familiar with David Lynch?
Shout out, Jesus loves you. Someone forgot to drink last stream. Yes, that is correct. John Ward did say he was going to drink. But it's okay. I know he's not here tonight, but you have to trust me when I say it's for good reason. Last night he did an honorable thing. John Ward, there was a stray gorilla that got loose out of the zoo last night. It was roaming around College Ave, downtown State College here. And he took it upon himself to protect all the innocent people, and he fought the gorilla. Obviously, no man himself, no man alone could ever beat a gorilla, but he did his best and saved a lot of innocent lives in the meantime. So while he recovers, everyone give a good prayer to John Ward and just keep him in your mind, thoughts and prayers. Fought a gorilla, but the gorilla won. I also, before I forget this too, I have a message to all the poor kids out in the world. If I can get this pulled up.
Hi.
I'm Mike Birch. Weighing 165, 65 years old. I'm gonna get 700 pounds of pride. This is for all the poor kids in the world. 700!
Tell you what, I wish I cared about all the poor kids in the world as much as that man does.
Hell yeah. But yeah, you want to get straight into the topics for today?
I am willing to do so if you are, unless you got anything else you want to talk about now.
Yeah, well, it doesn't seem like anyone's that interested in David Lynch. But yeah, again, great director. I would recommend checking out his movies. But yeah, if you guys want to, we can delve right into the Trump appointment hearings with Pete Hegseth and Pam Bondi, unless
you want to do that, or do you want to do the
you want to talk about
ceasefire first?
How about we leave it up to chat? What do you guys want to hear about first?
Yeah. Let me hear. You tell me what you want to hear first, chat. You want to hear the Gaza peace deal, or do you want to hear, I don't know, Biden banning cigarettes? Pete Hegseth confirmation? What, do you know anything about that? Biden trying to ban nicotine is what we put it in as?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that.
I just saw something. It's about Biden in like the 11th hour now is trying to push forward some sort of nicotine ban, which I threw that in here thinking John would be here, and then he's not.
It's a last minute policy to just piss him off.
Yeah, I think he specifically is targeting John Ward with that one.
Yeah. Chronic nicotine ban had me triggered. I don't understand, but we gotta get we got a list. I don't know. What's everyone else care about? Yeah, that's why I think we should just go into the confirmation hearings, because there's a lot of topics like we could get into just through the questions Hegseth has been asked.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's go for it. We got the rules are made by us, Jack. At this point, we can do whatever the hell we want.
All right. Yeah. So let's start off. So. All right, so the first link we have is Elizabeth Warren trying to take down Hegseth.
Here we go.
President about what the policy.
Time is short. I just need a yes or no.
I would consult with the president about what the policy should be
In
at the Defense
other
Department.
words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. But you're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
Time is short.
Who do you think that is? Who do you think's laughing at that moment there?
I like to think it's like some staffer on Elizabeth Warren's payroll. Like she.
That would be, I bet it's probably always like military buddies that, like I know Tim Kennedy was there. I'm sure Tim Kennedy was probably one of the people laughing. Like I like to think of a lot of Tim Kennedy's like tier 1 operators sitting in the back of the room. That one made him laugh.
Yeah, but a lot of petty answers were thrown at Hegseth and Pam Bondi during the hearings, and so that just really sets the stage of what we're going to delve into. Next one we have is Hegseth's racist and extremist tattoo. Wait, you guys might have heard of it before, but yeah, here it is.
Yeah, I've heard of this one before, or at least this slander on him. I don't know much about it other than I heard the talking.
Well, this is him explaining it.
All right.
But on what is this very offensive, extremist, racist tattoo that you have?
It's a tattoo I have right here, Senator. It's called the Jerusalem Cross. It's a historic Christian symbol. In fact, interestingly, recently I attended briefly the memorial ceremony of former President Jimmy Carter on the floor of our National Cathedral. On the front page of his program was the very same Jerusalem Cross. It is a Christian religious symbol.
Thank you, William Channel.
And when the events happened before preceding the Biden inauguration, I was a part of the mobilization to defend that inauguration as someone who'd been a proud supporter of Donald Trump, but also a member of the military, had orders to come to Washington, D.C. to guard that inauguration. And at the last minute, those orders were revoked. I'd never had orders revoked before. I'd been on orders to a lot of places to do a lot of difficult and dangerous things. They were revoked, and I was not told why. Later, when I wrote my book, I was able to get information that was because I had been identified. Someone who'd served in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Guantanamo Bay, holding a riot shield outside the White House. I'd been identified as an extremist, as someone unworthy of guarding the inauguration of an incoming American president. And if that's happening to me, Senator, how many other men and women How many other patriots? How many other people of conscience? We haven't even talked about COVID and the tens of thousands of service members who were kicked out because of an experimental vaccine. In President Trump's Defense Department, they will be apologized to. They will be reinstituted with pay and rank. Things like focusing on extremism, Senator, have created a climate inside our ranks that feel political when it hasn't ever been political. Those are the types of things that are going to change. And Senator Sullivan, you mentioned that study. After a whole study was held.
Interesting. Wait, was that January 6th, the January 6th, where he was denied access to work?
Yeah, I think so, because of his tattoo. Yeah, super chat from Scooter McLovin. Monday can't get here soon enough. Or soon, though, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of been a hectic week, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, I guess I could pull this up here real quick, too, before we get too lost in the weeds and I forget about it up here at top. Trump's
portrait,
yeah. The official portrait of 47. What are your thoughts on this? This is, I'll be honest, it's kind of weird to me.
I prefer the mugshot, to be honest.
The mugshot is definitely more iconic, I think, but why is it so edited?
It looks like it looks too bright.
It looks like every girl's Instagram. Like there's probably 20 filters over top of this, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. It's like the same stare he gave during the mugshot, though. That little eye raise.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, like he was saying, Scooter McLovin, Monday can't get here soon enough, and on Monday, that's your president right there.
Yeah, but like getting back to the tattoo, like I think Hegseth mentioned it in that clip, but the Jerusalem cross, as he calls it, was used in Jimmy Carter's funeral as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I pulled up a picture of it here too. So
yeah, it's
interesting. This isn't quite what I was expecting.
Yeah, so people associate with the German Iron Cross, I guess, and that in itself isn't a white supremacist symbol inherently either. So it's just like
well, the Iron Cross was around
it's
before.
Ignorant. It's ignorant virtue signaling to me. Yeah,
like what the Iron Cross was a German military symbol from. I know at least World War I, maybe even prior to that. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, but people primarily associate with World War II because Nazis and
I mean that's kind of fair though. I mean most people don't associate a swastika with a Hindu peace symbol anymore.
Yeah, but what people need to take note is that symbols like the Iron Cross precedes like the Nazis. I don't think it's really fair to associate just fully with the Nazis.
Agreed. And this is what you were saying here, and he was saying himself, I guess, right?
Elizabeth Warren would be furious when she finds out they put Jimmy Carter on Pete Hegseth's tattoo.
That is wild, actually. Wow. It's a pretty sweet setup. Dang, look at this. That's pretty wild. Where was this? Do you know? He said the National Cathedral. I'm assuming that's in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I would assume so.
For whatever reason, though, I thought that Carter's funeral was in Atlanta. Maybe that was just his wife's a year
Was
ago.
he from Atlanta?
I believe they lived in Atlanta. He's from Georgia. I don't know if he's originally from Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then what's this nonsense about drinking on the job? Should we go to that one, too? Who is the woman that asked him?
It's the Hawaii rep, I believe, Hirano.
I have read multiple reports.
Yeah, here we go.
I have read multiple reports of your regularly being drunk at work, including by people who worked with you at Fox
For whatever
News.
reason, I can't resize
Do you
this
know
video.
that being drunk at work is prohibited for service members under the UCMJ?
Senator, those
Yes
are
or no?
multiple false anonymous reports peddled by NBC
Do you
News
know that
run directly
drinking on the job
contradictory.
is-
She sounds drunk
Dozens of
herself.
Men and women
Not
at Fox News
calculated
Channel
on it.
who I work with
I'm
who
not
came
hearing
on
the
the
answer to my
record
question.
and said they've
In your
never
opening
seen
statement,
that.
Mr. Hicks, said you commit to holding leaders accountable at all levels. That includes you, of course. And frankly, as secretary, you will be on the job 24/7. You recently promised some of my Republican colleagues that you stopped drinking and won't drink if confirmed, correct?
Absolutely.
I will say, whoever did his fucking hair deserves a raise, and I hope he's bringing them with him to D.C. because they did a great job. He prepared.
Okay.
I mean, he's out here looking his best, just crushing all these people.
Will you resign as Secretary of Defense if you drink on the job, which is a 24/7 position?
I've made this commitment on behalf of
Will
the
you
men and women I'm
resign
serving.
as Secretary of Defense
I've
if
made this
you
commitment
drink
on
on the
behalf of
job?
the men and women I'm serving.
I'm not
because it's the
hearing-
most important deployment
I'm not
of my
hearing an
life.
answer to my question, so I'm going to move on.
Yeah, but in this post, somebody pointed out that Nancy Pelosi offered drinks to other sitting members in the Senate and Congress.
Well, yeah, and wait, it was also in that last post?
Yeah. There's like a picture of her promoting her own.
Oh, I see here. Yeah.
Alcohol.
Whatever reason, whenever they put the 4 in, it doesn't allow me. But here, you get the point.
Yeah.
Six
Six
packs and more.
Yeah.
Please be prepared to show a valid ID for alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, and where was the outreach over there? Yeah, don't look at that. That's like that was a controversy over like two guys having like gay sex.
Oh, geez, that was that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why didn't you give me a little more warning?
Yeah,
Holy
sorry.
crap! I almost just played gay porn on here, Jack.
It was censored.
Hey,
So
do me a favor. Do me a favor. Next time I'm about to play gay porn, make a lot of commotion. Like really get the point across that I shouldn't play that video.
Gotcha.
Just going forward, we'll put a little footnote in that.
Yeah. I thought you saw the post, but yeah, that's my bad.
No, you're fine. Then I saw also. I mean, he's going through the ringer, right? So then they also bring up the affair.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is Tim Kaine asking him.
Tim Kaine.
Charges? Well, no, fully investigated, and I was completely cleared. And I'm so grateful for the marriage I have to this amazing woman behind me.
You've admitted that you had sex at that hotel in October 2017. You said it was consensual, isn't that correct?
Anything?
You've admitted that it was consensual, and you were still married, and you just had a child by another woman.
Again,
how do you explain your judgment?
Completely false charges against me.
You
fully investigated, and I was completely clear.
You have admitted that you had sex while you were married to wife 2 after you just had fathered a child by wife 3. You've admitted that. Now, if it had been a sexual assault, that would be disqualifying to be Secretary of Defense, wouldn't it?
It was a false claim then and a false claim now.
If it had been a sexual assault, that would be disqualifying to be Secretary of Defense, wouldn't it?
That was a false claim.
So you
talking about a hypothetical.
So you can't tell me whether someone who has committed a sexual assault is disqualified from being Secretary of Defense?
Senator, I know in my instance, and I'm talking about my instance only, it was a false claim.
But you acknowledge
and it was fully investigated.
That you cheated on your wife and that you cheated on the woman by whom you had just fathered a child. You have admitted that.
I will allow your words to speak for themselves.
You're not retracting that today. That's good. I assume that.
Yeah, Tim Kaine is a total scumbag here because, again, like as Hex has said, these allegations have been completely debunked. Like there was no sexual assault or anything. This is him trying to pull a Brett Kavanaugh back when he was during his hearing for SCOTUS. He's a skivvy wrist master laying pipe, son.
Super chat. I just thought that was funny. I want to bring that one up.
Yeah. But to give you an idea of how hypocritical Tim Kaine is, he pull up the link, Mihai, of like Tim Kaine hypocrisy, because he pretends to be like very moral about like relationships and all that. Like how could you have an affair? But yet he hangs out with Kamala Harris's husband, who cheated on his wife with a nanny, like Doug Emhoff. Yeah, let's look at this.
Hey, folks. Tim Kaine here.
Second gentleman, Doug Emhoff here.
We are in Annandale, Virginia.
Imagine calling yourself the second gentleman. That's all I really want to say there. I just imagine.
Virginia, where the Biden-Harris campaign just opened the first coordinated campaign office in Virginia.
And we are going to, win this election. Senator Kaine is going to go back to the Senate, and we're all going to do this thing together.
You had just fathered a child 2 months before by a woman that was not your wife. I am shocked that you would stand here and say you're completely cleared. Can you so casually cheat on a second wife and cheat on the mother of a child that had been born 2 months before, and you tell us you are completely cleared. How is that a complete clear?
Tim Kaine, he's just doing what he can to try and stay relevant, I guess. That's like, none of this is genuine, obviously. It's all for show. It's all propaganda. But what it really is it's their way to fundraise for the next 5 years, Senate, or whatever, how many time they have left. They got to get their viral moment, their viral clip that Democrats love and put over Blue Sky or whatever the hell they use these days.
Yeah.
I guess you'd be surprised how many $5 donations you get off a stupid video like that, but who am I? What do I know?
Yeah. Next, we have Kristen Gillibrand crashing out over Hegseth's thoughts on women in combat roles. And we talked about that before in a previous show, Mihai.
Mm-hmm. This one right here.
Yep.
In the DOD, everything you've said in these public statements is politics. I don't want women. I don't want moms. What's wrong with a mom, by the way? Once you have babies, you therefore are no longer able to be lethal. I mean, you're basically saying women after they...
He does such a better job of just keeping a straight face than I would if she was yelling at me like this.
Yeah, and this is how you should respond, ideally. Just let them look crazy.
It's a silly thing to say. It's a silly thing to say, beneath the position that you are aspiring to. To denigrate LGBTQ service members is a mistake. If you are a sharpshooter, you're as lethal regardless of what your gender identity is, regardless of who you love. So please know this to be a true statement. So you say it was a political thing. You say it undermined us, social engineering. I don't know why someone having to publicly say or not publicly say who they love is social engineering. I think in the DOD.
Yeah, well, we talked about this before, Mihai. Do you want to tackle Gillibrand's statement, or should I?
We can. This is an interesting response here. The top tweet: she was fine denying men and women from serving if they didn't take an experimental vaccine.
That's true.
That's a very good point, right?
Yeah, but the issue that Hegseth raised isn't even inherently women serving combat roles. It's the idea of a physical standard not being set and just trying to make everything equitable, like trying to have an equal proportion of men, people who are gay, different races, when none of that really matters. All that matters is, are they like physically fit to serve in the role? And when you acknowledge that biological differences between men and women, it gets hard for there to be an equal ratio of men and women, because obviously men have the bigger advantage.
Yeah. So go ahead. These people, if women can serve the same combat role as men, if all women can serve in the same combat role as all men, which I think is what she believes, then why does the NBA exist? Why do women not fight men in the USC? Why does?
Well, I bet she doesn't have any issue with trans athletes.
Yeah, no, I'm sure she doesn't have an issue with trans athletes swimming or whatever the hell that guy Leah Thomas was doing. The hypocrisy. That's what gets me in all this.
Yeah, but something I found interesting online is that a woman, a female veteran, gave her own thoughts on this. Female combat vet weighs in on Hegseth's thoughts on women in combat roles. Yeah. Okay. Wait. First of all, William Jefferson Clinton, salt is legion. John needs salty on. Yeah, Salty Cracker is a pretty cool guy. The guy you read off of, Mihai.
Yeah.
He's a streamer too.
I'm not sure that I recognize that name. Is he normally in here? Let's see this video right here.
Yep.
There's this chick on here that literally just fucking demolished what she was talking about in one of her videos. Liberty Valkyrie or something. I couldn't stitch the video, but she was talking about women in combat MOSs, and let me tell you, as a woman that was in a combat MOS, they do not belong there. We don't belong in combat. I was a 12 Bravo combat engineer. They all the time had to make sure there was a place for me to use the bathroom because I was the only female in 10 miles. They catered to me for everything, making sure that things were set up for female standards. Because when it's just all dudes, you can focus on the mission, not worried about, well, we need to accommodate for a female being with us. And Look, I'm a badass chick.
2 seconds, real quick. Do you think she could have maybe filmed this video 2 minutes after she ate, or maybe 2 minutes before she ate? Do you think she had?
Yeah, that's a sort of weird trend
film it
people have
while she was eating her spaghetti that she heated up in the microwave? I mean, if it's microwave, like what's the rush, right? It took her 30 seconds to make that food.
Yeah,
it's the world we live in.
Yeah, but if you play a little more, she directly addresses the comments Gillibrand made in regards to, oh well, why is pregnancy? Why is women getting pregnant a problem? Like, why can't they? Why are troops set back after they had the baby, etc. If you play a little more,
but that shit is hard, and I know that there's women that can handle it. I could definitely to an extent, but there are some things that I just could not do. A lot of women probably can't do it, and then when I became pregnant, that was it. You can't do anything that relates to your MOS, and then what? You just lose all the training that you had. You miss out on training, and you miss out on the camaraderie that the training brings. Dude, you gotta watch her video. It was so good.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, she's right. Like, people like to say that boils down to sexism, but no, it's just reality. There are differences between men and women.
Undeniably, and I feel like we often get caught up to, and I'm not like trying to like be Mr. Feminist over here, but there's things that women are better at than men are at. Than men. Like, I know that that shouldn't be a controversial statement, but I think it's tough for women to accept that they should just do the things that they're good at and not try and do the things that we're good at.
Yeah, but nobody would think, hey, yeah, this team of women, like at a football game, nobody would think that a team of women would like be on the equal playing field as a team of men. Like,
have you seen the football the commercial of the football team that's like blind and deaf, and they have like the I think it's IBM's Watson or whatever controls like a little screen in their helmet.
No, what?
That's how they get like all their play calls or whatever. I don't understand how it's even legal. It almost seems unfair because then they're all on the same page. Like,
it's like a wait. That's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a commercial that's going around now, and it's showing the technology and how it allows these people that would never be able to play football. They can now play football for the first time. Where I'm going with this is, though, my question is, who do you think would win? A team full of women or a team full of deaf and blind men with IBM Watson installed in their helmets?
I mean, have you heard of that one, women's soccer team that lost against
It wasn't just
a
some
team
women's
of high
soccer
school
team.
boys? It's like
champion.
champion.
It was the World Cup
team,
winning national team. They lost like 20-0 to the high school boys team. It wasn't even like a state champion level. It was like their local team that they were practicing with.
Yeah, so I guess I'd have to go with the blind and deaf football team.
The blind and deaf. I want to say, I might be making this up. I probably am making this up, but for whatever reason, I want to say that Hershey. No, it wasn't Hershey High School. Hershey High School was an all boys school, I think, to start. But there was a school, old building, scary old building looking. There was for the blind and deaf way back in the day down by Harrisburg somewhere. I forget where it is, but it's one of those definitely haunted looking buildings. And you go outside. Speaking of, that would be a video idea.
Were you dare to ding dong ditch it?
Yeah. There's an old abandoned mental asylum 45 minutes away from here, like in the middle of woods, like the middle of nowhere, but it's terrifying looking. We should go there sometime. We should film a video.
Yeah. It shouldn't be abandoned. We should be sending more people in it.
Yeah, right? I don't know why we ever thought that was a good idea. It is a serious question, though. I mean, at what point do we say we messed up on that one? It was cruel at the time is what our thoughts were, but I don't know. I think we have the data now to see what school shootings gone up, drug use gone up, mental illness gone up. Everything's gone up since then. The question, I guess, the question with opening up mental asylums again, though, will be who is the person deciding who goes in the mental asylums? Because you've heard me go on about how I don't like the death penalty and I don't trust the justice system.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of hypocritical to say I trust the justice system to then decide who goes into a mental asylum.
Yeah, and you have a very poorly aged procedures such as lobotomies,
and it wouldn't be the purple hair lesbian liberal types that go in the mental asylums. It'd be you and me that go there because we wore a MAGA hat.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like with the whole COVID, like response to COVID, I really doubt that people would not think that it would be like the asylum system would be weaponized against certain people.
Yeah, that's the reality we live in. You can't trust anyone. Should we talk about Pam Bondi too?
Huh?
You want to talk about Pam Bondi too? I saw.
Oh yeah.
She was killing it.
Yeah. Moving on from Hegseth to Pam Bondi.
Yeah, I wasn't really too sure how I felt about her. Matt Gates.
Yeah,
I mean, John has his whole theory on the barium meal test or whatever the hell he calls it with Matt Gates. So I was hopeful that was actually real. So I was a little disappointed when she came into the picture, but based off what I've seen in the clip, she seems pretty legit.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As part of my responsibility to ensure the fitness of all nominees, I ask the following 2 initial questions. First, since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No, Senator.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement relating to this kind of conduct?
No, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As part of my responsibility...
Wait, what? That was a real question? How can you ask it's one thing to ask a man that these days. They ask every man that. And then if he says yes, it's rape. But I'm surprised that they would ask a woman such a question.
Yeah. They should be asking Kamala Harris that.
Yeah. Nobody asked her that once in the past year. What the heck?
Yeah.
That's a good point, Jack. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but
you want Adam Schiff falls asleep next, or do you want Pam Bondi?
Yeah, this is her Pam Bondi's hearing. Someone caught this on camera. Oh, he turned the sound on.
Is an existential. I assume you agree with me that Chinese
what a dope.
line influence is an existential threat to America.
Nappy time.
It is an existential threat, Senator, and also I have not seen it yet, but from what I've heard about former FBI Director Wray's comments on 60 Minutes regarding...
It's pretty incredible, actually. I just Googled it. He's making $174,000 a year of our taxpayer money to then fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is your elected official, everybody.
He's from California, too, right?
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yes, he is.
Makes sense at all. Maybe the state wouldn't be burning down if their elected officials weren't falling asleep during the job.
Yep.
Some might say correlation. Some might say causation. I don't know.
Yeah, but some people, like you said, Mihai, Pam Bondi is a last minute pick, so people did some digging up on her, and some are convinced that she's as good a pick as Gates. I saw this one tweet from Liberty Lockdown, and he brings up her past support of things like red flag laws. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to go into that. Pam Bondi.
During 2018, you expressed support for certain gun control measures in Florida, including raising the minimum age for firearm purchases and implementing red flag laws, which I agree with, I support. They're proven to make a difference and to save lives. How would you use the position of Attorney General to advance these common sense gun safety policies on a national level?
First, Senator, let me say I am pro-Second Amendment. I have always been pro-Second Amendment. I will follow the laws of my state of Florida and our country, of course, regarding any gun laws.
I would certainly hope so. But any specific ideas that you have on advancing the common sense gun safety proposals that you support as you were Attorney General? I gave you 2 examples, raising the minimum age for firearm purchases or implementing red flag laws. There's, I think, a growing national consensus on universal background checks.
I would be glad to meet with you and review any legislation that you have, Senator.
Yeah, so not a stance I'm a fan of, because red flag laws I view as them just being blatantly unconstitutional. It's trying to predict a crime before it even happens. Of course you have things like intent, but that's not what red flag laws are. It's basically somebody can have something against you and tattletale on you and get your guns taken away. I don't really support that, but I doubt that she's really going to enact any of those policies.
It almost kind of leans actually into the conversation we were just having about mental asylums, right? It's like, who is the person deciding? And in that case, with the red flag laws, where it would be like your neighbor, right? So obviously the liberal neighbors tend to not have as much guns as conservative neighbors probably would. I think that's probably a fair statement, especially around here.
Mm-hmm.
How often would a red flag law result in someone with a "hate is not welcome here" sign tattletaling on someone with a Trump sign out in their yard? I mean, I feel like that'd be 90% of the cases, right?
Exactly. But like my stance to solving like gun violence is to just lock more people up. Like the more people you keep in prison, like who are obviously a threat to other people's safety, the less likelihood of there just being gun crimes.
What even constitutes like what would constitute a phone call for a red flag call? Like, I didn't lock my gun up properly. Is it that, or is it literally like, I know this guy's.
You seem like too loud. You seem like too abrasive or something.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. It's very vague.
Yeah, so it's just any sort of sign of any sort of mental illness, basically, constitutes me then losing all my guns. Constitutes me losing my Second Amendment rights. That's the goal of the left, though. I mean, for how long have they been trying to go after guns?
But yeah, like hopefully Pam doesn't enact anything like that. She said she's going to stay true to the laws in Florida.
Does it make you confident, though, that is the hill that they've been on for so long? And honestly, apart from the bump stock ban from Trump, has there really been any legislation?
And I think he apologized for that. I think he said that was a wrong move.
Yeah, and at the time he tried to say that was the right move, and he even doubled down on, maybe even tripled down on it, saying that the ATF supported it. But I don't even think that was true.
Yeah.
Bump stocks are also just kind of stupid. I don't know if you ever used one, but
no, I haven't. What's its purpose?
It allows you to fire quicker in a semi-automatic.
Okay.
Is the essential purpose of it. Literally, like I don't know if you're familiar with like a bump fire is like, if you have a semi-automatic AR, you can, while the slide is going back forward, if you try and time it right, it almost recreates like an automatic rifle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was at the shooting range a couple of weeks. I guess it's a while ago at this point. I should be better at shooting because, if you don't practice, you're not good. And then when you actually need to use it, then you end up, shooting the dog on accident. But
you end up shooting everything except the one thing you need to shoot.
Yeah, no, exactly. But when I was at the shooting range last, there was these exchange students, these Asian kids. And the range that I go to, you're not allowed to fire more than 3 rounds at a time out of a magazine. But they were just loading up full magazines and just bump firing them. And I don't know how I get yelled at if I put 4. Yet these guys are like, it sounded like a war zone, and nobody ever said anything to them. So
yeah,
maybe I should have to be more Asian. Yeah,
there's this one gun YouTuber called Colin Noor. Like he's probably one of the best like gun activists, like pro gun rights activists I've seen on YouTube. Like
as far as information, yeah,
he explains like the stupidity of or like the uselessness of universal background checks, because all it does is make it hard for law-abiding gun owners to get a firearm. Criminals do not respect the law. They're just going to get them through illegal means anyway. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and that's a good point though. At the end of the day, more gun laws, they never hurt the criminals that are going to get the guns anyways. They affect the law-abiding citizens that now have no way to defend themselves.
Yeah. Well, let's see. You want to move on to a different topic?
Yeah,
besides
we got a good amount of time out of that one, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go to the ceasefire? You want to go to LA fire continuing? Let's go to the
I guess we could go to the LA
fire. Yeah. I want to pull up the video of Jimmy Kimmel crying.
Very scary, very stressful, very strange week here in LA, where we work, where we live, where our kids go to school, We are back in our studio, which we had to evacuate on Wednesday. That's our building right there, the El Capitan. That is how close this fire was to our theater here. Many of us had to leave our homes in a hurry. Some of our coworkers lost their homes. That's Hollywood. It's been terrible. It's been a terrible. Everyone who lives in the city knows someone, most of us, multiple people, families, friends, colleagues, neighbors whose houses burned down. And the truth is we don't even know if it's over. We had 100-mile-per-hour winds fueling this nightmare. As of tonight, the winds are back. And I think I speak for all of us when I say it has been a sickening, shocking, awful experience, but has also been, in a lot of ways, a beautiful experience because once again, we see our fellow men and women coming together to support each other. People who lost their own homes were out volunteering in parking lots, helping others who lost theirs. And tonight, I don't want to...
How much do you think those people were paid to sit in those chairs?
It's hard to say because I can buy that a lot of local people.
Is any part of that genuine, do you think? Any part of his crying? Is any part of anything Jimmy Kimmel says anymore genuine? Do you think he even believes what he says?
I couldn't trust late night show hosts as far as I could throw them. And Jimmy Kimmel is known to just try to politicize national tragedies, and say, please, I'm crying, so please forget about your rights. But I don't know. That doesn't really seem to be the case here. I'm more bothered by what his guest Bill Burr said in response to the situation. Yeah, so Bill Burr, comedian, everyone knows about. He had a very dumb takeaway on the response to the fires.
Thanks. Very good to see you. I heard you had to evacuate your home.
Yes. Like most people, I had to. I got lucky. The winds moved, but the fire was coming and all that stuff. So I feel lucky.
Are you guys back in?
And I think everybody did a great job.
Yeah.
Unlike the internet,
Yeah, right. I know. It's right.
Oh, my God. All of these fire experts. Why didn't you just fly a helicopter into the ocean? And then just, I don't know, because there was 100-knot winds? You want to do that? You want to do that at night, you lunatic?
How are you?
This was definitely mismanaged.
That's a big word we're hearing now.
Mismanaged, like some idiot on the internet knows how to manage the worst fire in LA, sitting there in his underwear. You know what? Looking at the footage on the internet, I have determined that this here was mismanaged.
Yeah. Of course, Bill Burr, a millionaire who can really replace anything he lost, is telling people to not think the response to the wildfires are that big of a deal.
Well, here's the thing. I think he's conflating our frustrations with frustrations towards firefighters. I don't think anybody I know is blaming the firefighters for what's happening. I think they're blaming the people that aren't getting the firefighters the resources they need to actually fight fires, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I will say, I think he actually is a helicopter pilot, so he does know, for whatever that means in this scenario, he knows about flying helicopters and high winds or whatever.
Yeah, but still,
to my point again, that's not what we're arguing. The only thing I've actually seen about the helicopter pilots is how badass they are doing the drops that they're doing.
Yeah, but still, he said fire expert. It's if you're not, according to him, if you're not expert, you don't get to have an opinion. Even though he, for damn sure, isn't one.
Well, who's the expert? The freaking woman that gets paid $700,000 a year to not fill up the fire hydrants?
That's a good point, Mihai. Bill Burr's not an expert. We're not experts. So let's hear from an expert anyway. Specifically, let's hear from the LA fire chief herself, who had to personally deal with the Palisade fires. Let's pull
if you conceal carry and you want to...
Yeah, I got an ad. Hold on. This is it. You conceal carry? There we go. Too late.
Yeah, go to 5.
Had a chance to sit down today. He's been covering the Palisades fire for the past 3 days or so. He sat down today with LAFD Chief Kristen Crowley for them.
You've spoken with the Fire Commission. You have made it very clear that this department is underfunded, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
This department was asked to take a $17 million budget cut.
That is correct.
How does that affect your department?
It impacts our ability to provide service, absolutely.
How did that affect the firefight in the Palisades and Beale?
So, first and foremost, what I just said before is making sure our firefighters have the ability to provide service. So $17 million cut did not allow us to do what we needed to do. And where that impacted us specifically for Palisades was our ability to move into reserve apparatus. The $17 million cut into our ability to utilize resources that should be at our disposal that we were unable to fix because the funding was not there because of cuts to our mechanics.
What type of apparatus are we talking about specifically?
Mainly fire engines and ambulances.
Yeah, so there you go. Like, oh wow, like listen to the experts, guys. Okay, that's an expert, and not only is she speaking the truth, she got shit on by that bitch mayor for speaking the truth. Like, did you hear about that, Mihai? She almost got fired, but apparently they reached an agreement, and she wasn't fired.
Sorry. There's I'm been distracted. There's a conversation going on in the chat right now about why they don't use water from the Pacific Ocean to dump. I feel like they do. But freaking Luke B said something hilarious. But Brondo's got electrolytes. It's got what the plants craves. I just think that's hilarious. I made me giggle. I want to give you a little shout out on that one, Luke B.
Yeah, but regarding like the whole water shortage thing, like there were entire reservoirs that were not filled up.
Mm-hmm.
Like people aren't even making the straw man arguments Bill Burr is saying. They're saying, hey, why the hell weren't these reservoirs filled up?
I saw something.
Even though we had all that time.
Did you see this? I saw that the reason the one reservoir was closed is because they had to drain the entire thing because there was like a 1-inch hole in the cover of it.
Oh man, a 1-inch hole! Wow.
Yeah, which apparently is common, and they do drain the entire thing when there is a hole in the cover, but it's not supposed to take over a year to fill that thing back up and patch an inch hole. But that's the bureaucratic state of California, right?
Yeah, and like we said last episode, those just Gavin Newsom. It's from the issues come from the top down. Like we have again, the issue isn't firefighters. Besides, like those in leadership positions, like that one assistant LA fire chief that said, if you get stuck, it's your fault for getting put into that position. Yeah, she's dumb, but she doesn't speak for most firefighters in LA. The vast majority of them are heroes. The real people that deserve like scrutiny are people like Gavin Newsom, who cut like the forest management budget by $150 million. And this isn't some like to build.
Where's this money going?
To stupid social programs, like stupid shit that doesn't solve anything.
Because it's not like they're spending less money total, right? They're spending more money every year.
Mm-hmm. To cut and they're not fixing anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And this has to be, I know we've said it over so many occasions, over so many moments in the past 5 years now since COVID, this has to be the moment where people in California wake up. But I mean, how is this not?
They live in their own bubble, man. They're never going to wake up.
What does LA become after this? Is it just like a wasteland of like roving criminal gangs and I don't know, like
drug addicts and homeless
outlaws?
People. Yeah, drug addicts and homeless people who just camp outside.
A couple tumbleweeds rolling around. Some guy in the corner with boot on the wall smoking a cigarette. No. It's going to turn into the Wild West out there. I don't see like the people that there'll be the rich and the rich, the 1%. They won't really be affected. They might have to build a slightly smaller house with the money that they get from their insurance, but I'm sure they were able to afford the insurance in the first place, and they'll be fine. Mm-hmm. It's the people that have had houses painted around generation that were worth now probably $10 million that they could never buy again. They chose not to sell. They're there. Insurance gives them maybe $3 million on a $10 million house. What do they do? They're not going to go back to the same place in a smaller house, in a place that just burned down.
To combat the fires, Ukraine needs $8 billion.
Yeah, I know. I did see something. It was like it would cost $5 billion to rebuild all of LA or whatever Palisades that burned down. Which is, I don't know. I mean, would you rather send $8 billion to Ukraine and however many $1 billion to Israel, or would you rather rebuild LA? I feel like that's actually kind of a tough question for a lot of people on the right. A lot of people on the right probably have the opinion of I don't know, seek what you sow, or whatever however the hell the saying goes.
Yeah, but I think another thing we should address is the sentiment of, oh, well, they voted for this, so actually, no, they didn't vote for it. Like a lot of people there are Republicans, but again, there's unfortunately put into an inconvenient spot because it's a super majority Democrat state.
Exactly, and that's saying, like when I was saying 4 years ago, that was a wake up call. This is proof that it wasn't. And then Bill Burr, if he is a speaking head for all of LA, in this video and the last, I'm assuming that this fire isn't going to be the wake up call either. You remember this moment?
The whole thing is, it's just fucking creepy to have guys like Mayor Garcetti be in charge of telling people whether or not they get to work. Like, that's not what a governor's supposed to be. That's not what a mayor's supposed to be.
Why do you care? You're not an expert.
To look out for your best interests and trying to get 400 million people to all pull in the same direction. It's fucking. You can't get 40 comics to pull in the same direction. So
but
they have like an impossible. They did and they didn't. There was people fucking right the whole fucking time. There's been fucking assholes on my street walking around, no masks. You know, not quarantining like the people that come by the houses. You see the fucking, the same people that were going in and out of the house who are not part of their family still going in and out of the house.
You want people to walk down the street with a mask on?
Let's not start this, Joe.
Do you, though?
Let's not start this.
So what, Bill?
Let's start it.
I don't want to start this bullshit. I'm not going to sit here with no medical degree, listening to you with no medical degree.
Yeah, you will lecture
people. American flag behind you,
You're
smoking
still going to lecture people regardless,
acting
Bill.
like we know what's up better than the CDC. All I do is I watch the news once every 2 weeks. I'm like, mask or no mask? Still mask? All right, mask. That's all I give a fuck about. I don't care.
But even they say you shouldn't wear a mask unless you're treating a coronavirus patient. The World Health Organization.
Yeah, but they didn't say that initially. They didn't say it initially.
No, they didn't.
They did, and then it gradually, and then wait, and then everybody wore the fucking masks. This is like rollerblading. Everybody fucking rollerbladed, and then there was that one fucking homophobic joke, and then everybody acted like they never did it. And then
that is actually funny there, but you get the sentiment, you get the point. He's a brainwashed sheep, and I feel that's a majority of LA. I've never been to LA. I've never heard good things, but
it's really unfortunate because a lot of people view Bill Burr as the average Joe working class guy, when really no, like all of his opinions are just establishment slop. Like you could get his opinion from like Rachel Maddow. Like he's not a free.
He's cut from the same cloth of a Bruce Springsteen. He made his living playing the card of the working class factory working man, or whatever you want to call it. And then when it actually comes to it, like Rage Against the Machine, when it's actually time to rage against the machine, you stand on the side of the machine.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it's his wife. Oh, not that one. Hold on. A lot of people say it's his wife. You remember this video too?
Oh, busting his balls.
Dana White and Tucker Carlson arrived at the UFC 290.
Oh yeah, she flipped off Trump.
I don't know if we need that audio. Yeah.
His wife sucks. Like, a lot of people say
all-time entrance. Never forget this entrance when he came in with Kid Rock, Tucker Carlson, and all them.
Yeah, a lot of people say that Bill Burr became less funny when he married his current wife.
Yeah, so right there in the middle, this black woman who's giving him the finger right next to.
That's his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Burr. That is Bill Burr's wife. Gosh, the aura Trump has though, he makes everyone look like such a bitch around him that hates him. Just unfazed. Whatever. You think you're the first person to give me the middle.
To be fair to Nia, to be fair to Bill Burr's wife, like a lot of people have been calling her a bitch even before that.
Yeah, no, like, a lot of people say that. Like, I don't know if you know who Tyler Childers is. You know who that is?
No, who?
He's a country singer. He blew up in like the alternative scene early 2000. I want to say 15. It was actually a guy named Sturgill Simpson produced his first album for him, and Sturgill Simpson was sort of like the founder of the modern day outlaw movement. Long story short, Childers was beloved by the redneck crew, if you will. Mm-hmm. He makes good music, good man. He married some woman that like was super, 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 super liberal, and now everything he puts out is like some sort of social justice awakening or whatever. Like everything has to be gay in some way that he does now. Everything has to be freaking, I don't know, far left. Yeah, he's just cucked. He's cucked. And I see the same thing when I see Bill Burr. Both gingers.
And that's why Bob Dylan it's immortalized. Like he didn't fall in the activist route. He didn't fall into the pressure. He just said he went electric and said, "Fuck you guys, I'm doing what I want. I don't care about politics anymore." Like, what are your theories on that, Mihai? Do you think he just like, nah, I like fuck liberals. I'm base, but so I'm not gonna go with it. I'm not gonna tout their slogans anymore, because he did write a cover song for that new Reagan movie that came out last year.
Really?
Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive. Yeah. Bob Dylan.
I did not know that. That's interesting. Yeah. No, I don't know. It seems to me like he's the kind of guy that probably hated both sides.
Yeah.
And then when they tried to put him in a box, he didn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that reminds me, like, A Complete Unknown that came out last year. Like, I saw it near the end of last year. It was a solid biography. James Mangold. He could do hit or misses, but like I like movies like Logan, Ford vs Ferrari.
Is it of the same level of as I don't know, like Walk the Line?
I'm not sure. I would say Walk the Line would be better, but
Walk the Line's like, I don't know, the precedent as far as like those biopics go, isn't it?
Yeah, I give A Complete Unknown like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Definitely enjoyable.
I take that. But
you might someone might. Here's the thing: you had to be very into Bob Dylan to appreciate it. If you don't know him beforehand, you'll probably be like, it was all right. But if you're very invested in like you know the time period, you know all the singers, you know what the consequences were, it'll probably hit you harder. So in other words, like Mihai, you'd like it.
Yeah, no, I would watch that. I do like those movies. I just haven't really been good at watching movies lately. I don't know when the last time I watched like an actually new movie is.
Yeah. Have you seen A Better Man, that Monkey Man movie?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's from this. It's about this British singer that a lot of people haven't heard of before. I still have to get around to watching that. But yeah. Anyway, getting back to like Bill Burr, right?
Should we go into the Gaza peace deal?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, just on that topic. Yeah, Bill Burr, you're a hypocrite. You're telling other people to not talk about topics they're not expert in, even though you're talking about the topics yourself.
Isn't that the whole role of a comedian, though? Actually, now you say that, isn't like the whole purpose of a comedian is to talk about the things that they're not experts in and then bring light to the, I don't know, darker parts of society that we wouldn't normally talk about?
Yeah. And one of the biggest things, one of the biggest rules of comedy is that you don't get to dictate comedy. So
yeah. True. Well, like we said this entire episode, the left will continue to be hypocrites, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. Breaking news from The Persistence, your old boss, Jack Scott Pressler. Breaking news, President Trump announced on Truth. First of all, I actually want to get into a little tangent before we get into this whole Gaza ceasefire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. Do you trust Elon Musk? And this goes to the chat, too. Chat, what do you think? Do you guys trust Elon Musk in his current state?
I trust him on some issues, but I don't trust him on other issues. He clearly has his own priorities.
His own agenda, yeah.
But it just falls down to the old slogan: keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
My point that I'm trying to get to is, how can I trust Elon Musk if Donald Trump to this day refuses to use Twitter for the most important breaking news? How many billions of dollars does Elon Musk have to give him before he uses Twitter? So if Donald Trump doesn't even trust Elon Musk enough to use Twitter, how can I trust Elon Musk? See what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I hear you.
It just seems preposterous to me. But while we're at it, we have a deal for the hostages in the Middle East. They will be released shortly. Thank you. And the whole big news about that was what? Biden then came out and tried to claim that it was actually him that brokered the peace deal.
Yeah, there's a whole link of him taking credit for it.
Will hold. I'm confident. Thank you.
Brooks credit for this, Mr. President, you or Trump?
Is that a joke?
No.
Thank you.
Bill Burr would think it's a joke.
But I don't see how anyone could credit him with this, because what foreign policy victory has he accomplished during his 4 years? The people like to say, "Oh, the Afghanistan withdrawal," but he fucked that up, and that was based off of a pre-existing deal Trump had already made. But he pushed the date back, and that messed everything up.
Well,
did you hear about that, Mihai?
I did not, but all the proof you need that it actually is Trump, right, is in the deep state right here, the most, I don't know, prominent enemy of Trump, the person that he's vowed to end, the structure that he's vowed to end from day one, right?
Mm-hmm.
They gave him credit.
When it comes to the involvement of President-elect Trump's team, it has been absolutely critical in getting this deal over the line. And it's been critical because, obviously, as I stand here today, this administration's term in office will expire in 5 days. And one of the things that we have always said about this deal is that when you get from stage 1 to stage 2, that the United States, Egypt, and Qatar are the guarantors of this deal. And Egypt and Qatar will push Hamas to stay at the bargaining table and to get from stage 1 to stage 2. And the United States will push Israel to stay at the bargaining table to get from phase 1 and phase 2. So obviously those are promises we cannot make on behalf of the United States for any longer than the next 5 days. And so it's critical that all of the parties to the agreement and the other mediators see that when the United States is in the room making commitments, those are lasting commitments that extend beyond this administration into the next one. I would just say,
so from my understanding, it was the Biden admin that put this deal together, right? But they couldn't get the deal done. It was until Trump put pressure on Israel to actually complete the deal that the deal got done.
Yeah, and that brings me to Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu's response, if you want to pull that up. Because, look, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke this evening with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and thanked him for his assistance in advancing the release of the hostages and for helping Israel bring an end to the suffering of dozens of hostages and their families. So that's sort of like a low blow to Joe Biden if Netanyahu's thinking Trump instead of him. I think that tells us everything we need to know.
Yeah, no, I forget what newspaper it was. It was something preposterous, like the Hebrew Times or something. It was like they were the first people to put out the article that the deal was done, and they gave credit to Trump in the article. We should have that pulled up, but take my word for it. I don't read Israeli newspapers.
Yeah. But that brings up a good question. Is this a good deal? Like, is this a good end to that whole...
Well, do you know who Dave Smith is?
Yep.
According to Dave Smith, it is.
Very good libertarian comedian and commentator.
He is. He says, I know this is a huge if at this point, but if Trump's envoy was successfully able to pressure Netanyahu to accept a ceasefire/hostage release deal, and if that isn't ultimately offset by a major insane concession to the Israelis, such as allowing them to annex the West Bank and ultimately lead to an end of this tragic war, then Donald Trump will start his second term as a legitimately heroic president. It will be the best thing he's ever done in his life. If he can negotiate an end to the war in Ukraine as well, put the man on Mount Rushmore. Hilarious.
Damn,
he even
that's
doubled
a big
down
endorsement
on it
because he does not like Trump. Dave Smith is not a Trump fan.
He tried as long as he could to stay anti-Trump. But this past election, he finally came around. And you have to at a certain point when you weigh your options. Do you want to have another 4 years of the same old, or do you want to have another 4 years of what we had before? It wasn't actually that bad, was it?
Yep, and he sort of has to since Ron Paul is going to be serving a role in the administration too, right?
I missed this part too. He said, "Let him take Lincoln's spot." Do you know what that? Do you know what that means? I don't understand the beef with Lincoln.
So libertarians do not like Abraham Lincoln because they didn't think that the Civil War needed to be a war at all.
They believe that he gave more rights to the federal government or whatever throughout the process.
Yeah. I see.
So,
yeah, Ron Paul even shares that sentiment. There's like a whole there's like a whole news debate he had with some anchors over it years ago. I don't know if you want to pull that up.
Not many men I would blindly follow, but if Ron Paul is saying something, I tend to agree.
Right.
He's one of the few who actually seems genuine. And his son, I like Rand Paul too, but Rand Paul is just
Rand Paul is cool.
He's not quite good enough at talking. I feel like if he could be a better talker, a better orator, he would have been president 2016, he would have won.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Put that on the record. I'm saying that.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, Ben Shapiro breaks down the deal. Do you want to read that?
Yeah. What's I'm assuming, is he happy?
Yeah, he likes it. Yeah, generally speaking. But yeah, I guess we should take into account like obvious bias. He is part of the nation with the funny hats because he has a funny hat himself.
That's funny. This is very long, but every hostage deal was going to suck because it was always going to be the trade of innocent kidnapping victims, including presumably the bodies of children from mass murdering terrorists. The only question is whether the deal is worse or better than it could have been. The answer is because of Team Trump, it is better. And then he goes into a whole plethora of reasons as to why it is better. Hamas goals in any hostage deal were a total and final ceasefire with Hamas in control, complete withdrawal of IDF from the Strip, return of all displaced to their homes, meaning a movement of terrorists all over the Strip, which was Hamas's actual goal, reconstruction of the Gaza Strip, meaning flow of aid they could steal and then recruit more Hamas members. The Israeli goals were to return as many of the hostages as possible, no Hamas running Gaza, and ability to eliminate any further threats.
Yeah. I would say we'll go back up a bit. I would say overall what they managed to accomplish, Israel, is return as many hostages as possible. I would say when it comes to no Hamas running Gaza, they kind of failed because Gaza is like majority in support of Hamas, I believe. Ability to eliminate future threats. I mean, this region is so it's the norm for this region is war. Let's just be clear. Like it's been going on for centuries. Before
Jack, do me a favor.
United States.
Keep going on this tangent while I go to the bathroom real quick. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, chat. What are your thoughts on this deal? Just general first impressions of it. Send all LA homeowners to Gaza. That's a take. Maybe the Gazans will be located to the Palisades. I feel as though there's going to be like increased pressure of refugees from Gaza because a lot of them might be like hidden Hamas sympathizers. I think it's funny it happened on the Sabbath. Yeah, that is funny.
Send all illegal immigrants to Ukraine. That would just prolong the war. They'll just send them right to the front line and make them fight.
Yeah. Make Bill Burr live in Gaza. Yeah, that I agree with.
Make his wife live in Gaza. See how long until she gets stoned. Israeli pushing refugees on the West? No way. What?
Let's see. What else?
Yeah, what do you want to get into? You want to start getting into some of the bonus topics, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. So, first off is Elon Musk crashes out on Asmongold. Do you know who Asmongold is?
I do not, other than my brief, I don't know, look into what the hell is going on here, but I'll let you explain it because you know.
Yeah, so Asmongold is a pretty prominent streamer, has a huge following. And he kind of pressed Elon for his credentials as a gamer because, as we all know, Elon Musk likes his relatability. Part of his brand is relatability to like nerds, essentially. I don't know if you want to read it out, but
yeah, I can't get to show up. Freaking, I don't know. One of these days I'll figure that out. But Asmon behaves like a maverick, independent, but in reality he has to ask his boss for permission before he can do anything. He is not his own man.
Yeah, and he's been getting heat for this. And he shares DMs, his private DMs, without his consent, and people are pointing out that's in violation of the terms of service on X. So, yeah, Elon's breaking his own rules.
It is funny too. Like I can't show the whole thing, but Elon's last response is just interesting after he provides him with the credentials of the editors. And then I guess that was That was the last communication they had before all this happened.
Yeah, and there's like a thread. It's a whole thread if you want to like look down.
Oh, geez.
Asman finds out.
Probably not happy. Elon unfollowed Asman. Was he not happy about the? Probably not happy about the POE video. He'll get over it. Listen. It was so obvious. You cannot get mad at me for bringing this up. Everybody was talking about this. Come on, man. Come on. Elon unfollowed Asman.
And Asman Gold is a pretty chill guy. Like I like him. He even defends him a bit, like in that clip right there.
I feel like, again, people hate him for the dumbest fucking reasons.
I agree.
It is the dumbest fucking reasons. Like, I think that Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, and there's like 2 or 3 other people that everybody is so, like, they're so mad about. And I really think that, like, it's somewhere in the middle. Maybe somebody's not the Messiah, but they're not the devil either.
Yeah.
That's a good
so
point.
Asman Gold is now there are a ton of degenerate streamers out there. Don't get me wrong, but Asman Gold is probably, in terms of most streamers, probably the best you're going to get in terms of well-rounded community. Like, he has his faults. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people criticize him for not being able to pick up after himself. But again, I think he's a better role model than someone like Destiny, like Hassan Piker.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, he brought up an interesting point there, though, at the end. It is, like, interesting. Anytime there's a powerful person that rises to, I don't know, prominency, it seems that there's only 2 end conclusions in everyone's mind. They're either the second coming of Christ or the literal Antichrist. There's no in between anymore in these days. Everyone's so far apart in their own sides.
Yeah, and EM Pepe, H1B1 was a good reason to criticize Elon. Yeah, and Asman Gold also criticized him for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the guy. You asked me the question if I trust Elon Musk 3 months ago, I would say yes. Not even fully knowing why. It would probably just be because I wanted to. I wanted to believe that he really was fully on our side. It was something about Trump tweeting or truthing the Gaza deal and not putting it on Twitter. It just really rubbed me the wrong way because I was trying to find the post for like the link to the show, and I was like, "Why isn't it on Twitter?"
Yeah,
and I just got this whole tangent in my mind. Like, how does your biggest donor not convince you to use his platform?
Yeah. Well, another thing is just if you don't have who do you have complete blind faith for, or blind trust for? Because even though I support Trump, I want to say I have blind faith in him either. That's why. I think that's why we do a show.
Yeah, like
honestly, so we can get our thoughts out and make sure he's staying to task. We're just trying to move our visions forward to make sure that it's not going unheard.
Like Trump walking back his TikTok ban. Does that make you trust him less? I don't know how it doesn't, but
the whole thing about TikTok is that people, I think people say that they're worried about foreign interference is bullshit. It's the fact that they can't control it like they do social media sites or platforms in the United States, like Facebook, etc.
Is there not truth though to, I don't know, China purposely putting on degeneracy? Well, I forget what the name of it is, but they have their own version of TikTok. The TikTok's banned in China. And whatever,
like Red Notes, is that new platform?
Like, whatever the hell it is, but it only promotes things like, I don't know, higher education and engineering and being a strong man and philosophy, things like that. Whereas you go on TikTok, it's a bunch of people doing ungodly things, and the videos that get the most views are the people that do the most ridiculous things.
Yeah,
it's almost like they're using it to degrade our culture.
Yeah, well, the thing about TikTok is that platforms like that come and go. Like, I remember when Vine was a thing. There's going to be a new TikTok in the United States. It's just only a matter of time.
Well, I bet you Mark Zuckerberg's working really hard to get TikTok banned behind the scenes.
I heard that Kick bought TikTok recently. They bragged about beating Mr. Beast to it.
I did see. And that's a big part of the deal. So they're supposed to shut down Sunday, but then if they divest all their Chinese holdings, then they can stay on the App Store. That's the deal.
Yeah.
And they said they refuse to do that, and they're actually going to willingly take down TikTok on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't affect me. I don't use TikTok. I guess I tend to.
I don't use it either.
I downloaded it once.
I would not advise downloading anything like TikTok or Red Notes because they do steal your data.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know if that even necessarily worries me. What the hell is the Chinese government going to do with my data? Probably not.
They'll make a clone, like a Chinese clone of you, Mihai.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Mizao.
Yeah. Mizao. That's pretty funny, actually. No, I feel like the harm that the U.S. government can do with the same data they're collecting to me is probably greater than that of the Chinese government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another thing is that we already get our data in a way sent to China through American social media companies.
Yeah, who's buying the data in the first place?
Isn't that what Facebook was doing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a good point. So much of it doesn't even seem like to comprehend the amount of money that's made in buying and selling of people's personal data is actually kind of wild.
Let's see. Next topic.
It makes me not believe in coincidences, though. Like every time, I mean, this isn't anything new. People think their phones will listen to them every time they get an ad of something they were talking about, right? But is it really that it's listening to us or talking about it? Or is it that everything is so collected and so well managed that the outline that they have on each of us individuals just really does know who we are?
Right. Yeah. But next topic is Drake sues somebody.
Oh yeah.
Or wait, he allegedly sues Kai Cenat.
Yeah. Did you see that?
I glossed over the link, but do you think you could explain it to me?
Yeah. No. So I don't know. I guess there was. Hold on. Do you know much about Kai Cenat in the first place?
Yeah, he's another streamer. Like he's like really popular. Like he gets a lot of celebrities on his streams, like John Cena, Kevin Hart.
So I've come to find out. I honestly didn't know who he was until I don't know, yesterday. I guess really. Like I've heard.
I think he's younger than both of us.
I didn't even know he was a black guy until yesterday, though. Like I've heard the name, didn't know who he was. Long story short, I guess Drake texted Kai Cenat during the beef to tell him to stay on stream to react to his diss to Kendrick Lamar. He now includes Kai Cenat in a federal document complaining about Kai reacting to the diss on record. I guess the beef was that he was trying to claim in the lawsuit that it should have gotten taken down because of copyright, and they weren't taking it down because it was making Drake look bad.
So he's not suing Kai Cenat. He's just mentioning the influence of Kendrick Lamar's diss track on him.
Yes, but the key is that he set Kai Cenat up by texting him to watch it, and then is now trying to sue him.
Yes. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm. So I'll do this thing.
Drake just text me!
Yeah, that is kind of a dick move from Drake to manipulate someone like that.
Hold on, wait! Drizzy just text me. I got a report. I got a report. Drake has just texted me.
Stay on stream, yeah. I don't know if you can tell if you can tell or not, but that's literally what it says. Stay on stream.
Just text me.
With a devil emoji too. Wow.
Yeah.
Is Drake playing 4D chess, or is he just losing it and falling apart, and now he's backtracking, trying to get everything back together? I don't know. I'm not one to keep up with like the rap beefs and all that, and I don't really.
Yeah, is Drake actually a pedo?
That's sure. I don't like everything. They're all pedos apparently. Every rapper is apparently gay. Every rapper apparently likes little boys. I don't know who to believe and who not to believe because they're all pointing the finger at each other, which only leads me to the conclusion that they're all doing it. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see.
I guess. Long story short, Drake is still kind of a piece of shit. I guess that's how we wrap that one up.
Yeah, but here's another one. Man kills himself after gooning in drive-thru. Don't worry, he doesn't actually kill himself.
I made sure to watch this one before when I saw that. I was just very curious what the hell he was getting into here. Honestly, can you explain to me what even just happens in this video here?
Been here before.
So this guy drives up to a bikini bar or something, to the drive-thru of a bikini bar.
Okay, so this guy killed himself the next day. Apparently, it was a place called Bikini Baristas, like Starbucks if it was Hooters.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be in Florida. There's no way that's not in Florida. They get guys exposing themselves semi-often, but this guy was a repeat offender, so that's why she was recording.
Yeah, you don't see his dick, but you see his pants pulled down.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Call 911.
Rip. That must be pretty awkward.
I'd say so.
Holding one hand on the wheel and then the other hand on your dick. It seems like really easy to crash.
He literally got caught with his pants down.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know how to relate to him. I guess where I'm going. I can't ever find myself in that situation. I'm trying to picture it, but.
Yeah, how do you get into that situation? I mean, last episode we were talking about that men are in crisis.
How down bad?
Lack of relationships.
And no homo, but it's not like he's a bad-looking guy, right?
Hmm.
I'm not saying
Looks normal.
Yeah, he's not like an objective.
Just go
ugly
if he goes to the gym, he could probably and just talk to people.
Yeah, how down bad do you have to be for a normal guy to start doing things like that? I just don't understand.
Yeah,
that's some I don't know. Borderline
Buffalo Bills. It's sad that he killed himself. But
what else do you do though?
Mm-hmm.
After that, how many views does this have? 317,000, but still.
Oh well, that's not the breaking tweet though. That was just someone reposting the video.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm not condoning anyone kills themselves after making a mistake, but
yeah, but we're also not condoning anyone jerking off at
a drive-through.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm actually kind of curious. I'm gonna Google bikini baristas and see if we can find out more about this place. Yeah, it's everything that comes up is just a picture of that guy. Hold on, let me. I mean, I bet business is great for them now. They probably never had more people. Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh wow. Interesting. How many of these girls do you think work here or have OnlyFans?
All of them.
There's Michael's bikini barista. I would investigate. I'd be willing to give it a try. I bet they have good coffee.
Yeah. Next up is Caitlin Clark Stalker.
Caitlin Clark Stalker. What's going on there?
So Caitlin Clark has a stalker, and he went to court for some criminal charges. And he's kind of a funny guy.
Oh, wow. Kind of a scary guy. I wouldn't want this man stalking me.
He looks like Joaquin Phoenix somewhat.
He does kind of look like Joaquin Phoenix, actually. Imagine if Joaquin Phoenix was stalking you.
Yeah.
You think he would just be preparing for a role? You think he would let it go? He's a method actor, isn't he?
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark Stalker walked into the courtroom and did his first words were guilty as charged. Oh, my God. All right, we got to watch this.
Morning, Mr. Lewis.
Guilty.
No. This is initial hearing. We are not.
The sheer aura.
You have the right to remain silent, and I expect you to exercise that. Okay, this is just telling you what the charges are. You do not listen. I'll give you a chance to talk. Not your time. Stop talking.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of, you remember when I played that James Brown interview a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
That's very reminiscent. That's hilarious. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Obviously I don't.
But his account is apparently still up.
Well, that's not too surprising.
If you look at his replies, it's just full of him just adding Caitlin Clark on Twitter, on X, and just say, thinking about you, Pookie. Just pull it up. It's hilarious.
I'm in the mood for Italian. You mind if you're Luigi? I don't even.
Yeah.
I know what he's trying to say, but I don't know.
Like it's full of
how
stuff
to
like
say it.
that.
Hold on, let me try and find his actual account.
No, I linked it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Michael Lewis. Big Jesus guy.
Yeah, so look at his replies. You buying?
Winning is for losers. Who's this other woman he's talking? The head coach of the Iowa women's basketball team. That's hilarious. Of course it is. Unbelievable. Do you know anybody that's ever actually like been stalked?
No, not really. But wait. There are a couple of like replies that get crazy if you go scroll down enough.
You want to get coffee in the morning at Monumental? I'm at 222. I'm not in the mood to watch ball. You want to make out with me? With me? You're a nun.
You're done. I forgot.
Do you even like?
Do you like to make out?
Your pussy needs a real good pounding. Oh, nice. Very classy, Michael.
You're into sex, are you? Just video games and sports? What is this one-sided conversation?
Nah, this one he's just talking ball to her too. he's just. You're so pretty. These are all in the same day, by the way. I just want to point that out. This is all from January 12th. Every single one of these. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And now we're January 11th. Wow. He is relentless. Wow.
Yeah.
I see why.
Put this man in prison.
I see why he's not even trying to hide it, though. He's just guilty as charged. He knows he's screwed. I mean, jeez. Jeez. I feel like there's a couple people in this chat that probably stalk some people.
Yeah, John.
He probably is in there with the fake count. Who knows? Keeping an eye on us.
Yeah, I meant that's John's the type of person that gets stalked.
I don't know. If you stalk John Ward, it would turn into John Ward stalking you, and then you wouldn't know who's stalking who. It would be like the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, the hunter becomes the hunted.
You would think you're stalking him, and then you lose him, and all of a sudden he's in a ghillie suit behind you.
Yeah. Let's see. Next up is journalist carried out of Anthony Blinken's final press conference. Apparently, it was related to like Free Palestine stuff.
Free Palestine. Advertisement. Here we go. Oh, jeez.
All right, Secretary.
Oh, jeez.
I was sitting here quietly, and now I'm being manhandled by 2 or 3 people. You pontificate about a free press?
Is that Colonel Sanders? He's got the secret blend of herbs and spices. That's why they got to get him out of there.
You pontificate about a free press? You are hurting me. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I'm asking questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions, and so I'm asking questions. Wasn't the point of the May 31st statement to block the ICJ orders? He blocked the ICJ orders.
Please, sir, respect the process.
Respect the process. Respect the process. Well, everybody from Amnesty International. From Amnesty International to the ICJ saying that Israel's doing genocide and extermination.
One of the comments do you see the one that says, for enjoying a succulent Chinese meal? Have you seen that video?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I got to pull that up too. Who is this guy? Why is he there? He's a journalist?
Yeah, let me look up the context.
Oh, here it is. This is an all-time video.
Can't a man just enjoy his meal?
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the way you got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your...
This guy's everyone's inner spirit.
Ta-ta and farewell.
I think he's Australian, but we should make him an honorary American. I say.
I think he's dead now.
We need more citizens like that, less Indians, right?
I mean,
what is the charge?
Indians can bring that kind of energy.
Excuse me, sir. What is the charge? What is the charge? I eat a succulent meal. I eat poop. I poop on street. Why no poop? Sir? Show me Bob and Vagine. This guy grabbed my Bob. Sir? That's an imitation of my friend Raj.
Yeah.
Nah, just kidding. I don't have Indian friends.
You should make some and bring them on the show.
I should. That would be actually a really good cider house, right? If we had like a bunch of Indian dudes in here and just
no, just like fill out for us, like or pretend to be us.
That would be even funnier. We could like offshore it.
And hard accents too.
I've also said we should just turn this place into a call center. Just have a bunch of 20 Indian dudes scamming people all day, and that's how we make all our money. Guys, quiet down. We got to do a show. You want to move into the next topic here?
Yeah. Should Americans lower their standards for jobs? This is an ongoing debate I'm seeing on Twitter right now. So Christopher Rufo, you're familiar with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's pretty much the guy that's known for like going to war against academic wokeness, like CRT, like critical, like a transgender ideology, etc. But the H-1B visa talk really lit a fire under a lot of people because it's brought this larger conversation about like what jobs what jobs are reasonable to attain and how much of it is just entitlement. Because Christopher Rufo is saying, you know what, guys, it's not bad. You guys should lower your standards. It's okay for you guys to work in like as a manager at a fast food restaurant or like a restaurant. And so there he is. Christopher Rufo, it's actually good that Americans without a degree or a trade can live in a non-decrepit suburb and earn $100,000 a year, drive your UPS, or managing a restaurant. Yeah, I Googled it. The actual average salary for a restaurant manager in the USA is $55,000, not $100,000. Chris Rufo never tells his own kids to aspire to be Pan Express managers, so why is he telling yours? I mean, it's a good point. Like,
it's funny.
Like Rufo is continuously telling people to not go to college, like saying, "Hey, man, just focus on trades." But is that really the future? If we're going to be importing a bunch of like labor that we don't need, is that really practical? Because I think we should be thinking about our American workers, first and foremost.
What is the alternative? Going to college? Is that what he's saying? The guy that responded, the Chris Burnett guy, you should tell your kids to go to college.
I guess so, but again, this is an issue about immigration, just like immigration policy, right? So it has to do with like exporting or outsourcing labor for jobs that aren't really needed to export or outsource, and the only real benefit is just lower wages. And I understand like some people will say, oh, well, more people working in the economy means GDP goes up, but there are winners and losers in this. Like when you make these sorts of decisions, it's trade-offs. But But the question is there more of a loss than there is a gain to be made?
I'm trying to think of it from like my own personal perspective. I was going to college. I made it about almost a full year in total. I was over 2 years, but I eventually dropped out myself. I actually dropped out twice. The first time was for a medical reason. I had to get a surgery. And then the second time I dropped out was because I just decided I didn't want to be there anymore. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if this is how, I don't think this is how most Americans feel, actually, which actually kind of makes me sad, but I wanted to be my own boss. So the idea of paying multiple thousands of dollars a year to then get a degree that I would never use just didn't seem like something I should be doing.
Yeah, I actually think a segment of Americans feel that way. Owning their own business, like being business owners. Yeah, yes. I can see that.
Yes, I would say probably not as many as like our grandparents' generation, though.
Yeah, because a lot of people want to just be told what to do, like not really put their own skin in the game.
One of the big things I always say, like one of the biggest issues I have with our generation is there's nobody willing to make a decision. Mm-hmm. Everybody's always looking for someone to tell them what to do.
Yeah, and they procrastinate. That's actually a personal problem I have, just straight up.
Mm-hmm. I deal with myself sometimes too. It's like we become so coddled throughout our whole life. We're the generation that grew up with the participation trophies, and I think that does have a real effect in how people grow up and develop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the same time, though, I feel like boomers who tell people to just work harder kind of take for granted what they had, pre-inflation times.
For sure, they bought their house for $5,000 and they paid that off 40 years ago, and now they ask us why we don't do the same. It is there is irony in all of it. I don't deny that.
Yeah, but there's nuance to be had on both sides.
Yeah, I just think it's easy for us to push all the blame off ourselves because we don't want to take responsibility, like I was just saying. So we look for the other generations to blame, and now we just, rather than playing the game, I feel like a large portion of our generation has decided to not even be involved in the game at all.
Yeah, but for like a lot of conservatives who are repeating Chris Rufo's talking points, it's as if they forgot that they were for years now saying that Biden's economy sucks. It doesn't offer people's opportunities. Mm-hmm. Why they switch up on everyone now that Trump's going to be now that Trump won? It just seems a bit grifty to me.
I hear you. Jack, remember when we were talking about the WNBA and Caitlin Clark earlier?
Yes, sir.
What if I told you I found a version of basketball that is far more entertaining than the WNBA ever could be?
I'd say that's not hard to do.
Well, what if I told you it was wheelchair basketball?
Oh, yeah. Like Special Olympic sports are brutal. Like people think that's lame, but no, it's the opposite.
Watch this video. It's titled Wheelchair Basketball Ankle Breaker Compilation. It's hilarious.
Pratt sets up one for Bywater.
That one's not that crazy. Wait for the next one here. This one. Whoa.
Whoa. Oh, wait. Oh, Mihai, you just unlocked a hidden memory. After you're done with this, Google murder ball trailer.
Murder ball.
German restarts. B-neck. Beautifully done.
Yeah, these guys are talented.
Off the front of the chair, but picked up by Sagar. He's at the foul line. Bywater spins, and Bywater's got the path to the basket now. Bell gets in his way, but
can you gamble on this, you think?
Banks it in. It's 2-2.
You think you can gamble on this?
You can gamble on anything.
Yeah, honestly. I don't know. I stumbled upon this video late night, and I thought it was funny. It is kind of. I've never actually watched wheelchair basketball, but
yeah. Well, if you want to watch a movie about it, or like a related topic, Google murder ball. Yeah,
this one that's right here, 2005 sports documentary.
Huh. Yeah, try watching a trailer.
Yeah.
16, I was in a car accident.
I was out on the back porch and he was trying to pick a fight with me, and he picked me up and threw me off the deck, and it snapped my spinal cord.
My buddy spun out, threw me into a canal, and I spent 13 and a half hours pulled under a branch until somebody found me.
It used to be called murder ball, but you can't really market murder balls to corporate sponsors. We have a reputation of always winning gold.
This is ours for the taking, boys.
You're gonna be talking all kinds of trash.
Yeah, baby, yeah. Anytime, big boy.
I don't know if this is fucked up to laugh at, but I just think it's funny that the coach is also in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Well, that's like it makes sense because he used to be an athlete.
I guess that does make sense. He probably played wheelchair basketball himself, right? I guess he wouldn't. It'd actually probably be worse to have a regular basketball coach. I don't know how well that translates into wheelchair basketball. You don't even dribble.
Mm.
It's kind of weird they don't dribble, but I don't know how. I guess I don't really know how you would.
Mm.
And the ball would just end up bouncing off the wheels and flying all over the place. What do you think is the what do they call it? Not the Special Olympics, the Paralympics. What do you think is your favorite event?
That's tough. Oh well, they have like archery, right? With like legs.
Yeah, I was about to say. I feel like I watched a video of a woman like use her legs to shoot a bow once. There's also this stuff. I like freaking ads. Allstate. They didn't insure the homes out in California. Paralympic hockey. This stuff's kind of crazy. They're
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, look at this.
Showdown, whether it's preliminaries or the gold medal match. It is Team Canada versus...
It can be a little intimidating to play in these big games against the Canadians at your first Paralympic Games, but he's been physical,
wild.
He's been confident, and really performing well for his first Paralympic game.
United States forechecks. It's Wallace, pass in front, a shot and a score!
Right on key.
But does that even like resemble hockey? I don't know. Like at some point, you just make your own, like you just make new sports for these guys. I don't know.
Yeah. But there's something to be said about this. These guys, despite being in like horrific accidents, still getting up in the morning, saying like, you know what, like I'm not going to victimize myself. I'm going to get out and do what I want to do. Like I think, as you were saying earlier, Mihai, our generation needs to have that same energy.
No, I agree. I think you're totally right, and they should get credit for just not giving up, and that's what America's all about. But I do have to say,
even if they're from Canada,
even if we're from Canada, Sylvester Stallone's favorite Paralympic event is the high jump, which is kind of fucked up.
Like, hold that up. I want to see if they actually do that.
There's no
or
way.
How they do it.
There's no way. Do they even have track? Oh wait, they do.
At TJ Maxx.
Hold on. I don't understand though. Hold on. Here it is.
Thangalu of India and Sharad Kumar of India have both cleared as we are in second attempts now. Townsend already with gold here in Paris. And now a first attempt. No one's cleared this height yet. Now someone has.
Clean.
Well, there you go, Sylvester Stallone. They do have it. I mean, yeah. I thought he was joking, but he wasn't. I don't know. There was that guy, Oscar Pistorius was his name, right? That I think he was from Australia. He ran in the Olympics with 2 fake legs, like the actual Olympics, not the Paralympics. You remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
And he shot his wife.
Yeah.
You remember that part of the story? He killed his own wife.
He did.
Yeah, he shot her. He thought his like claim was that he thought someone was breaking into the house, and he killed his own wife.
Oh, so it's like manslaughter.
I think he ended up getting put away for murder. I think it was pretty much determined that it was. I can Google it, but I think I remember the funniest part of the story. I guess it's not very funny. The most interesting part of the story was that he didn't have his legs on while he did it.
Okay.
Let's see. Oscar Pistorius' wife. here's that article. Oop, not that one. This one. Oscar Pistorius and the Valentine's killing of Reva Steenkamp. And what happened that night? Holy shit, he walked without the fucking fake legs?
Damn. That looks uncomfortable.
That does, dude. There's no way it doesn't hurt. Oh my gosh. What would that feel like?
Ugh.
Oh,
Why isn't anyone making him like sit in a wheelchair?
I think they're probably trying to make him prove that he could have actually done it with his legs off.
Oh, yeah.
I think
that's
like
probably what they're doing.
it's so long ago now, but I think like a big part of his defense was it had to have been that he thought a burglar was coming to the house because he didn't even have his legs on. Like that's why I said that. Yeah. And Sylvester Stallone was through a door. He shot her through a door. It is wild. It is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad stuff, I guess, in the world of Paralympics. That was like their Michael Jordan, probably.
Well, while we're on the subject of disabled individuals, do you want to get more sad?
Sure.
Yeah, so look up nonverbal disabled woman trans.
Oh, Jesus. I already tell by the title there. Excellent.
You don't have to. You don't have to do the full screen, but. Yeah, there is a thread if you want to scroll down.
Sick and sadistic. Wow. Whoa. Jack, I don't even like. My mind is just trying to wrap around what the hell I just.
Yeah, and this is like what a lot of like this is the status quo. Like a lot of nonverbal autistics can get trans.
You think
they can't even get consent. I don't even know how they do it.
You think that woman earlier that was questioning Hegseth on whether or not women should serve in combat roles has any problem with this?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely wild.
They'll say that it should be. They'll say that should be mandatory for every
for every nonverbal girl.
Yeah.
Oh, disabled girl with double mastectomy, not vasectomy. Female's name. The viral video of the disabled girl who received a double mastectomy is Micah Leroy. Found under the user handle disabled trans boy. Well, so I mean, obviously that's the parents that are doing that, right? Because if someone's nonverbal, how the hell do they tell someone? How do they have such an in-depth conversation to even begin to describe their gender feelings? I don't.
Sick. Yeah, it's sickening.
The parents
it's
are doing
bad.
it so they can show off to their friends about how they're more virtuous than they are. It's It's a society without Jesus. That's what that is. I don't even.
And
that really did make me a lot more sad than I was expecting it to.
Yeah, but like and like you have to take into account like detransitioners just regret over transitioning in the first place.
Yeah, I forget that I used to freaking in high school I knew all this fucking shit because I would argue with everybody. But it's something like 70% of people that transition then regret that later in life or still have suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, so like there are like studies released in the UK, or there are studies released here, but for some reason we conflate soft sciences and hard sciences as if they're the same thing. So like a gender studies degree, or just a gender studies professor has as much say as like an actual medical doctor, which I find stupid. But that's not the case in the UK because they actually banned child transitioning and puberty blockers, just gender affirming care, etc. So if you're a child in the UK, you can't. You have to wait until you're 18 at least to begin transitioning. But even if you begin transitioning, that doesn't really settle down the gender dysphoric thoughts, and there's a slight you get a slight euphoria initially after the surgery because you're convinced that yes, I'm finally the opposite sex, but then it just dawns on you later on that no, you're not. You're still not, and that's why the suicide rate among trans individuals is so high. But someone like a gender expert in the UK who I just discovered recently, Dr. As Hakim, he has some interesting insights on this. He wrote a book on detransitioning. If you want to cover it,
yeah.
Don't worry, there's any imagery or anything.
I appreciate it. This one, yes.
Talk about two things. First of all, is the diagnosis of gender dysphoria, and then the link between trans and neurodiversity. In the 24 years that I've been working with the gender dysphoric population, I realise that there's 4 groups. It's not one thing. It's very heterogeneous, but within that heterogeneity, there's 4 groups. There's people who were formerly called true transsexuals who believed that they were in the wrong body. There are people, and they're a very small number. There's a huge number of what we used to call transvestites, and these people didn't have a gender dysphoria. They knew that they were, say, men, but they got something out of dressing up. And you could divide them into the fetishistic and the non-fetishistic. The fetishistic were the ones who got sexually turned on or would masturbate, and the ones who didn't get sexually turned on but got excited by it were the non-fetishistic ones. And there's always been a much greater proportion of transvestites than transsexuals, although we don't seem to talk about them anymore because they're all called trans. And then there's a very small group of people, autogynephiles, who, some of the gender critical people confuse autogynephiles with fetishist transvestites. The autogynephile is a man who has the sexual fantasy of having female bodily parts. So it's nothing to do with cross-dressing, although they can cross-dress. It's purely the sexual fantasy of having vaginas and breasts. So there's always been more transvestites, a smaller number of transsexuals, and a tiny amount of AGP, autogynephiles. And now there's a new group, the rapid onset gender dysphoric kids. And I've always said, this isn't a gender dysphoria, this is a subculture. And with these kids, people have heard me say this a million times, there's always been subcultures since the Second World War. You've had rockabillys, rockers, hippies, mods, punks, goths, and it was up until the advent of social media, it was always based in music. So up until social media, the whole point of being a teenager is you subvert what you've been told and you find yourself. And it was music based. Then social media came along. Music didn't have that function. It was all in your social media profiles.
Give me the rundown on that, Jack. What is that British accent that he just spoke with? What does any of that mean?
Yeah. So this part I thought you would find interesting because he essentially says that a lot of modern day trans identity is actually stems from a subgroup. Okay. Hey, there's Michael.
Yeah, Michael decided to join in here.
Yeah. How are you doing, Michael?
Fine enough.
Yeah.
Fine enough.
Have you been tuning? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I had some prior commitment tonight. I didn't realize, so that was my bad. Now I'm here though, so.
Okay, well we're happy to have you.
In time for us to wrap up the show.
Hell yeah.
There is.
Yeah, but wait. Have you been tuning in? Do you know what we're talking about now?
I think trans identity is what I heard, Jack. So give me a rundown.
Yeah, so we were just going over this one British gender specialist, and he's actually opposed to the gender or the trans ideology craze, and he has some interesting insights. He says that modern day people who identify as trans is mainly a subculture, and he's making a link between people who in the past would identify with music subgroups like heavy metal rockers, the Beatles craze, that fan base.
Yeah.
They don't social media. It serves as the new music fandom. So you get a lot of people just forming identity groups off of clicks on social media and such.
Okay.
What do you guys think about that hypothesis?
I mean, I think that is the objectively true take there.
Yeah, it kind of goes off what I was saying earlier about TikTok manipulating our culture. Right, where their algorithms are different than ours, and they're purposely trying to seed, degradation.
Yeah, I would, I would tend to agree. I mean, there's no explanation for why suddenly, it went from 0.0000001% of people are trans to now like 10%. It's not just because, people were secretly hiding it. No, it's called these people are perverted by society or like left out of society, whatever the case, and they're inducted into this cult pretty much.
I mean, a lot of them are also perverts, as we were just like looking at the clip, like autogonophiles. Those are just guys that dress up in women's clothing and get off on embarrassing themselves, essentially.
They have a name. I did not know that was what they were called.
Yeah, well, as we were going through it, there are like distinct groups, like the transvestites and autogonophiles. They turns out are two distinct things.
Okay, the more you know. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that.
Also, prior to you coming in, we saw a clip of a nonverbal disabled person like getting trans.
Oh, I saw that. That's no one else but the parents. And I don't know why I'm smiling, but it's just so stupid. Like, why did no one intervene? Like, truly, you can't. That should not have happened. I'm sorry.
It shouldn't be happening for a lot of kids in the United States, and it's embarrassing how the UK has the right take on this before us.
Well, it's called.
I wouldn't read too much into that, though.
Yeah,
that's a rare occasion.
Well, it's because they're
broken clocks right twice a day, Jack.
It's because
true.
It's because they're run by the Muslims now, and the Muslims don't like gay people. That's why Muslims have overran Europe.
Well, yeah,
Europe is not English.
That kind of gets into my talking point from last episode, though. What do you do when the Muslims become more Christian than the Christians?
Well, I would still say they aren't Western. Sorry. You need to have some. They aren't Western. They don't support the Western idea of. Jack, help me here. I'm losing my words.
There's this one interesting French novel called Submission by
there we go. Yeah.
Mihail Houellebecq, and it's about this guy, this failed author or something to that degree, who feels out of place in society through secularism that nobody wants to vote in like the actual traditional Christians. So instead, they vote in like the hardline Muslims, and they gradually implement Sharia law. And nobody over time, like freedoms become eroded because nobody wants to point out the obvious, which is that they're slowly becoming like a Muslim. Their culture is gradually being changed into a Muslim majority one. They're becoming just like the Middle East.
Actually, Jack, that's what you perfectly explained what I was losing for words there. Actually, thank you. I at the same time as I was trying to think there, Joe Paul was kind of falling over a little bit, so I had to pass it off to you once Joe fell. It was pretty bad. We had to get him back up on his feet over here.
This is a bad excuse. I'm gonna rewatch the film.
Okay, you know what?
Joe Paul fell after he kicked it to you.
Okay. Well, anyway,
but essentially, I think that the problem comes down to like people mistaking kindness and compassion with like keeping your mouth shut.
Well, I would agree, but I also think that people are mistaking like other religions, like adopting, I guess, some principles people would think of kind of Christian as them becoming Christian. Like, it doesn't matter if the Muslims are supporting this one good thing, that the Muslims are then going to go back and support all of these things that are not Christian and not godly. So it doesn't matter if it's like one good thing. It was kind of like what you were saying, Mihai, about a broken clock is right twice a day. Okay? But Europe is still fucked, and it's still ran by a bunch of Muslims. So They're not.
And pedophiles. Don't forget the pedophiles.
Yes.
That covered up the child.
pedophiles.
The child rape things. Yeah.
No, for sure. I'm no part of me thinks that Islam creates a better culture than Christianity. My point is simply, what do you do when is Islam culture better than a modern left atheist culture?
That is a fascinating question. I would say there are aspects of it, actually. There's quite a bit of it that might be better than a modern left-wing tyranny. But the issue is we shouldn't settle for that Muslim nation. We should want to go back to the original Western, Britain strong.
I don't even think that's
mentality.
an option anymore for Britain. I think they're so far gone.
That's all. That could also be true as well. I think Britain, Germany, France, they're all fucked.
Germany's definitely screwed.
Yeah. Be more butch. Okay, I'll try. Yeah, I'll try.
Who's this Jeff Poor guy?
Hey, this Jeff Poor guy.
He's been here the entire show, just shitting on how bad we are. But
hell yeah,
he continues to watch.
It's called we have hate. It's called we have hate watching.
I can't really complain because he comments like
it's a fetish. It's a fetish.
Yeah. It's auto asphyxiate or whatever the hell that doctor guy was saying.
No, it's called Jack. We have our first hate watcher. We're turning into Chris Chan now. We better be careful.
No, I feel like
it's more so he's Chris Chan. I would say.
I almost feel like I should thank him though. He comments like every 2 minutes, so I mean he's helping the algorithm.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And
he thinks he's hurting us, but really,
he's just helping.
I want to thank him.
But Michael, do you have any topics that you would like to talk about that were in the doc?
I mean, did you guys cover yet the Trump image, the best thing that has come out of
the portrait?
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it.
You think so? We had the opposite take. We preferred the mugshot.
No. It's so clear. It is the most clear photo ever taken of a human being. It's
edited.
Beautiful. It is like you could see every pore on Trump. It's great. And then JD's is just him mocking the camera. JD is just trolling you. Both of them fit the personalities of the respective leaders so well. I mean, look at that. That is a much better photo than the first one. The first one where he's just cheesing is such a bad image. Like that. Like he looked so fat in his first photo from 2017.
What did the replies say? What are the replies to the tweet?
Perfectly captures the essence of America's first dictator.
See, look at I'm sorry, the first one's just not as good. This one's just so much better. So much better.
I think the first one's better.
He looks fat in the first one.
The first one
he's
embodies
cheesing too much.
The first one,
all that hope and optimism gone.
Exactly. That's because he wants to fix the nation. The hope and optimism is with the second image. It's much better.
No, I do think that this picture, like the second picture, perfectly encapsulates what this second term of Trump is going to be. Having said that, though, I just think the first one's more presidential, and I don't understand why they had to do so much editing on it.
It isn't. I don't think it's.
You don't think that's edited?
Well, okay, I think it's edited to remove out like scars and stuff, sure, but like the detail capture, for instance, in the hair and such, cameras are fantastic these days. Like they can capture extremely clear images. I would say like they're like he obviously has makeup on, yes. Oh geez, Joe Paw slid again, but like I have no doubt that is more not edited than it is edited. If that makes any sense.
Use the chair.
Oh, the chair. Okay.
Yeah. Or some more comments. Okay.
He
looks kind of old, man. Are we sure he was the best guy?
Okay. So I love how it's a mix between all these trolls and then.
Is Pepsi okay?
Yeah, see, it's so much better. Like the shadow is so much more contrasting on the new image. He looks skinnier. He looks healthier in the new image. Like
he doesn't look any skinnier. He just looks like his chin is facing down as opposed to up.
Well, it makes him look skinnier when we
His
want
blue
that.
Steel. The guy just
Again, the shadow too. The shadow is very well done. I think they probably took it honestly. That they might have taken that image.
I like this one.
Okay. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they would have taken that during when the time went in to take the images with him for.
That's when he was hanging out with Kodak Black.
That image could be from Times, like the people who went in to take the images of him for Person of the Year, because it kind of has like a similar composition to those. I wouldn't be surprised.
My name's Kodak Black, and when they see me, I'm white.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Since we were talking about Muslims before the Trump photo, do you want to talk about the Tate Bruv conference?
Yeah, I did see this. We didn't pull this up last time.
Okay, let's see it, Jack. Let's get a take. Oh, God. Why is it called bruv?
I'm sure it's
because it's British. It's British slang.
Yeah.
British reform something. I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I know, but like,
bruv is like all to them.
I say bruv sometimes, but it's just stupid as a party name. Sorry,
I don't know what a y'all party.
It's like Doge but worse. I feel like it's not cool.
What up, Zeb? Here we go.
Hey, Zeb.
Ladies and gentlemen of the United Kingdom, my name is Andrew Tate. I'm the leader of the Bruv Party, Britain Restoring Underlying Values. And I'm here to introduce myself to you as the only hope and chance for the once Great Britain to repair itself from the eternal decline we are unfortunately being subjected to.
This is terrible
I'm
already.
extremely rich and very successful. And although this has not brought me much happiness or any new friends, it has certainly increased the variety and capability of my enemies. They have locked me in Romania for over 3 years. The UK Foreign Office instructed the Romanians to do exactly this on false charges.
Muslim.
Charges that even Romanian courts now are admitting were completely fabricated because they fear my influence. And they fear my influence because the United Kingdom has been hijacked by Satanists who have absolutely no concern for the people they are supposed to work for.
You're Muslim. You're no better than them.
They work for big banking interests, and they ignore their constituents absolutely. There is currently nobody within the political class which will do the things which are necessary to repair our once great country. There is no reason for a city with a legacy like London to be running with blood and for drugs to constantly be found on our streets. There is no reason.
You know what that reminds me of?
What does it remind you of, Mihai?
Reminds me of.
It was so bad. That was like actually terrible.
It's beautiful up here.
A more perfect
this. B for Vendetta.
I don't see any instruments.
Oh my God, that's Padme. She looks good there.
Natalie Portman?
Yes, Natalie Portman used to look good.
In honor of the holiday she seems to have taken from these parts, and in recognition of the imposter that stands in her stead. Tell me, do you know what day it is, Evie?
November the 4th.
Ew, her British accent's awful.
I think that's just her accent because she's British.
Well, I'd rather her with her nice American accent.
5th of November, the gunpowder, treason, and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
Okay.
First, the overture.
So all Andrew Tate's got to do is throw on a mask. I think the people of Britain will welcome him with open arms.
Listen carefully.
Look at her. Natalie Portman looks good in this movie. She looks almost as good as she did when she died in Revenge of the Sith.
When the music started playing, this is the first thing that came to my mind when Tate was speaking.
Look outside, Mummy. They're playing music.
I've never seen this movie. Is it good?
Do that.
Yeah, you'll like it.
It's actually a really good movie.
Have you seen Clockwork Orange, Michael?
Yeah.
Before we get copyrighted.
That's good too.
Well, of course I've seen A Clockwork Orange. Well, okay. Yes, I've definitely seen A Clockwork Orange. Do they relate at all? They don't look like they relate.
They're both British.
If you watch V for Vendetta now, it's actually kind of scary, like how many parallels there are to the world we live in. Like when that movie first came out, everyone thought it was preposterous, but Britain is under like full authoritarian lockdown rule, and the United States in the movie is currently in a civil war. So it's kind of crazy, actually.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, London is a surveillance state. Yeah, exactly.
London is a surveillance state. So, Jack, we've covered that you two are just wrong about the Trump image. Do you want to look at JD's image? Because JD's,
sure. You want to pull it up, Mihai?
is also fantastic.
Okay.
Like, The first one he took when he became a senator was a bit rough because he still had a little bit of baby fat then, and they put all that baby fat right in front of you in that image. This one, like, look at that. That looks so much more friendly. That is exactly who JD is as a person. Like, also, he's giving you the death stare eyes. Like, I'm coming for you. You better be careful. He's smiling.
What do the replies say? What do the replies say?
He's smiling, but, you know.
JD Vance makes the ladies melt.
Yeah. JD Vance. Okay. Okay. See, JD Vance still has his haters, I will say. Zooming in on it is great. Looks
From
like
Twilight movie.
From the Twilight movie. That's great.
Borderline White Walker.
I will say though, with his, I wish they would have like done a little bit more shadow work like they did with Trump's. I don't know why they made his all white. Like, he looks real white in this. Like, not that.
So you admit now that Trump's is edited?
No, you go back to. You can't add shadow like that.
You can remove it.
Oh my god. Okay, so that makes JD's more edited then. So you just argued in defense of JD's being more edited, which I would agree with.
They're both clearly edited.
That's a bad portrait. Eyes look. Oh my, go.
Jack, we don't need.
That's a bad portrait. Eyes look weird. Skin looks pale. Seen way better pics of him. This is someone who looks at pictures of JD Vance in their personal.
Well, no. Well, actually, Jack, I hate to say it. While the image is good, there are better images of JD. Like, there was one taken at the Republican National Conference where he's like looking up. It gives off Chad. Like, there are better images of JD. Like, just look up pictures of JD Vance. There was one of him in the crowd during one of Trump's speeches that also just looks great. Like, it looks straight out like a Superman movie. There's all these, low-level advisors around him, and then there's just JD Vance standing in the middle there. It's great.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find
Did
it.
you guys see this? Guys, do that.
Oh, no.
Congressman Buddy Carter introduces bill to abolish the IRS, repeal income, payroll, estate, and gift taxes. How about that? Now we're going back. Now we're going to the fair tax system, huh?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to the fair tax system.
By the way, from the great Ron Paul, by the way, when I say cut taxes, I don't mean fiddle with the code. I mean abolish the income tax, the IRS, and replace them with nothing.
Based.
God, we might have our country back if we actually get rid of all these taxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mihai, I'm going to send you 2 images. Do you want me to put them in the doc, actually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
These 2 images are what I'm talking about. Well, like, there are better ways to capture JD's face because he does have big cheeks. So head on is not exactly the best angle for it. Jack, fill in the time while I'm trying to send this to him.
Oh yeah, Michael, you know who David Lynch is, right?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Mihai didn't know who he is.
Mihai didn't. What? Isn't he the? Is he the one that directed Seven, or am I thinking of someone else?
No, that wasn't him.
Turns out Michael doesn't know who he is either.
Well, wait. That's David.
Cronin. No. David Fincher.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so who's
similar?
All right, so let me know if you've heard of any of these films: Eraserhead, Elephant Man, Blue Velvet.
The first one.
Like Mulholland Drive.
I just
Inland
asked
Empire,
to request access.
Lost Highway.
I shared it with you earlier.
Yeah, I just requested access. Like, it won't let me get into the doc. I heard of Eraserhead before. I'm not gonna lie. He's I was thinking more of the, again, Seven director because they have very similar names.
Damn, I'm the only one that knows David Lynch. That's crazy.
Yeah, because the only one
he died today, people were sad
because it's only Eraserhead. I'm not gonna lie. It's Eraserhead's his only movie.
Yeah, you are in the doc as an editor.
Okay, well then, wait. Am I typing right now? Can you see me typing? I'm intro. Okay, never mind. I'll just place the 2 images. Bang, bang. All right, Jack. So he died. What's the implication on the movie industry then, from your point of view?
I mean, like, I liked his movies. I thought he was like a very like artistic director, and he got screwed over the last couple of years because Netflix didn't want to give him a budget, and I just thought that sucked.
What did he die from?
I forget. I don't know what the illness, but it was announced last year.
Was it like some mental thing? You know, like what's?
No, not mental. No, that's Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
David Lynch, the director of Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet, died at the age of 78 from emphysema, a chronic lung disease.
Okay, see.
Announced his diagnosis in August 2024 and died less than 6 months later.
This picture right here, because I can't add it to the doc. This one.
Just why can you not add it to the doc?
I don't know. It's not letting me add it to the doc.
Let me see your phone.
Mihai. Okay. Here we go, Mihai. Okay, so.
We'll pull up fucking Google Docs.
Yeah, that's right, Matthew. He also directed the first Dune.
Oh, I've seen that one. That's real bad. That doesn't help his case to me. I'm sorry.
yeah. A lot of people don't like the first Dune.
Here you go. Yeah, the first Dune is whack. I'm not gonna lie. They did so much better. They did Dune so much better justice when Villeneuve took over. I'm glad Villeneuve is finally a well-known director because he has made great movies.
He was pretty well known before. You know, he had Prisoners, Blade Runner 2049.
Those were all underperformers. He didn't like he was actually kind of dying in Hollywood. Like he was known as a box office cancer, like Adam Driver on the actor side, or like Chris Hemsworth is. There's all kinds of actors, actresses, directors who are what's his name? The director who only films here in PA. He's absolutely destroyed his reputation. He made Split, Glass.
Oh, M. Night Shyamalan?
He's also destroyed.
Yeah, he fucking sucks.
He's known as another box office cancer. Like anything he does.
Trap?
No, I heard it was ass.
It's so bad. It's a big nepotism project because he had like his daughter or whatever.
Well, wasn't his daughter a director?
And she couldn't act. She could not act.
Wasn't his daughter a director? Like, didn't she direct her own movie?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. There's just like this movie called The Strangers, Chapter 1. That flops. You're not getting Chapter 2.
Mihai, how'd you do that? Because there was another one, but I don't care. Whatever.
Copy and paste, but it's still not showing up in mine for some reason.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, Jack. Yeah, it sucks that director passed away. I hope he had some good movies.
I do have this one here. A little news story for you. A little local news.
Year, and now, as Tim Durkin reports, the investigation into the fires revealed they were no accident.
Earlier in September, the building behind me, the Woody Crest United Methodist Church, was in flames. Now, after months of investigation, officials tell us that both the fire here and the one at the former Fillmore United Methodist Church were intentional.
Oh boy.
We're investigating. That's what officials told us in October after a fire had claimed the second Center County church in a month. Now the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is heading up the investigation and confirmed that they're working to, quote, solve and prevent a series of intentional fires at United Methodist churches. The first fire claimed the Woody Crest Methodist Church in September. It still remains closed to this day. At the time, Pastor Renee Ford said they would have to look for a temporary new home.
We've had an offer, among other offers, to use.
She looks like she started the fire, right?
Long story short, somebody's going around burning churches in State College, and I actually heard there was a couple churches, I think it was one, maybe two, in Altoona that got burned down around the same time, too. Who does such a thing? And my guess would be look to the Wiccans and all those dang Wiccans around this.
Oh, I was just going to say that there was somebody connected with all the churches, and all the churches just wanted money, so that they burned the churches down so the churches get money.
Yeah, it could be a little Jewish lightning. A little Greek lightning.
Just some lightning from the heavens, you know.
Little gang warfare.
A little church
warfare.
Church v. church warfare.
It is weird that they were both Methodist churches that got burned down when they were like Methodists are like the, I don't know, like least extreme of all the Christians.
Yeah.
If that's even a thing anymore. But
Notre Dame was such a shame. I'm glad it was restored, but still, it was restored.
What's that church in Barcelona?
Oh, the one they're still building.
Yeah.
That thing's so cool. I can't I wish I could see its completion in my lifetime. I hope I can.
I think it's like just this year it's going to be completed after like 250 years of construction.
I thought that movie. I thought that building wasn't going to be complete for like another 60 years. Okay, that's sick. That's definitely a spot I want to go visit. Oh, that one right there, third image in. Yeah, that thing.
It's crazy.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
La Sagrada Familia.
Mihai, real quick.
Yes,
Google
sir.
Brutalist architecture. I want to get both of your guys' thoughts on this type of
Talking about like Soviet style.
I heard The Brutalist was a great movie, though.
The Brutalist is a great movie, but the architecture
I want to go see
style is another thing.
I want to go watch it. Like, I need to go watch it. It's on my bucket list.
I describe this as postmodern Soviet.
Yeah, bring it up.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you guys think about this type of architecture?
It's cool for some futuristic houses or like for like movies and stuff, but like in real life, I don't.
Very
like in cities.
Now, it makes me think of Soviet Union, but it also reminds me of Ex Machina. That guy lives in.
There are some very cool. There's some very cool brutalist architecture, but then there's other brutalist architecture that's just ugly.
You ever seen Soviet bus stops?
What? Oh, okay. Some of those are sick.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. I don't hate brutalist architecture. The worst kind of architecture, though, Jack, is like the American postmodern square building.
That is brutalist architecture.
It is? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like Mihai, Google brutalist apartment building.
I'm just, the high rises in New York City, that sort of shit.
Yeah, it just looks like fucking tenement.
Yeah, see, those places I don't like. Like when you get more experimental with brutalism, like those original buildings, some of those are cool. But if you just build a building like that, it just looks fugly.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't.
Specifically like some of the modern high rises in New York City just look so ugly. Like the one that almost fell down in the middle of the city before that hurricane looks ugly.
This is identical. This actually might even be the freaking building my family lives in. But every apartment building in Romania looks like this.
How would that be? How would you know that was the house your parents lived in? What?
I said it might be the place my family lives in because they live, as I said, in an apartment building in Romania.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot of these just look the same.
Yeah.
Which is ironic considering that they made these to be artsy, to be more individualistic.
It was more so they were cheap and quick to put up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was actually not Stalin that did that. It was who came after him.
It was here, hold up. I'll look it up real quick. Who came after us?
It was part of the de-Stalinization, though, of trying to build up the infrastructure of the Soviet Union. And then they, instead of like, when Stalin was there, it was actually like they put an emphasis on building beautiful buildings. But then after Stalin, it was more of an emphasis on upping productivity and housing availability for everyone. So they came up with 3 standard uniform designs and put them up everywhere.
Nikita Khrushchev, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, have you guys seen The Death of Stalin?
Isn't that a movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It stars Steve Buscemi, but it's sort of a satirical look of how Khrushchev came into power.
Jack, what you think of Nosferatu? Because I've been...
I loved it. Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
What do you think about it? Why, you don't like it?
No, it was the best movie of 2024. I thoroughly love that movie. That is exactly that. Robert Eggers has never missed the mark with me. Never missed the mark. All 4 of his films are masterpieces so far. Mm-hmm. The Witch is the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life. It did something to me that no other movie has ever been able to. The Lighthouse is just cool. Like it's just fun to watch. That's The Northman to an even greater extent. That's the most masculine movie ever created. Is The Northman? The
Northman is not an original movie though. It's what's the Shakespeare book that it's based off of?
Yeah, I know
Hamlet.
Yeah, but that's
Nosferatu is
because Hamlet was originally that work. He brought it back to the original work and made the movie off of that original work. So Hamlet was an adaptation of his movie, technically.
What?
Yeah.
Hamlet came out in like the fucking 1400s, dude.
The Vikings had a story before Hamlet, and the story is what Robert Eggers made that movie from. So it's like he made the movie off of the original piece, not off of Hamlet, which derived from that. Just like how with the new Nosferatu movie, even though it's called Nosferatu, it's kind of in many ways more similar to Dracula itself, and so harkens back to the original work almost just as much as it incorporated the secondary works that followed it.
Are you talking about the legend of Amleth?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In the story, Amleth's uncle kills his father and takes over a throne. Yeah, so it's Hamlet. Yeah.
It's okay.
You ever seen the Mel Gibson Hamlet movie, Jack?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty good, actually. It's pretty good. I'm a big Mel Gibson guy.
It's not called Hamlet, is it? Or is
I think it is.
It's called something else.
I think it's. Let me Google it. I'm pretty sure it's called Hamlet.
Anyway, Jack, what'd you think of the mustache? Because I loved the mustache first.
Yeah, like that is how like Transylvanian royalty looked.
Oh yeah. By the way, spoiler alert: we're gonna be talking a little bit about Nosferatu. Jack, that movie was amazing.
Yeah, have you seen it, Mihai?
I have not.
Oh, okay, it's so good.
Yeah, Michael, if you love it so much, you should try watching the original silent film.
I have.
Oh, yeah.
The original is like the only silent film I've ever sat through.
All those years later, like it's still creepy. Like Nosferatu in that movie looks, or Count Orlok looks fucking creepy all these years later.
I actually am more, maybe it might be recency bias, but I like the design of him more in the new movie. That ending shot was golden. It was exactly Robert Eggers. It was beautiful and disgusting all at the same time. It was so good. I've seen that movie 3 times already.
I have not seen this, Mihai.
Yeah, I don't know the chat keeps talking about it. I've never seen it either. All right, boys, should we wrap this up, though?
Yeah, sure. Anything else you want to talk about, Michael?
Willem Dafoe is the GOAT. He is fantastic. He was the best part of that movie.
I wonder why Michael likes William Dafoe.
What? Why?
What do you think, Jack? You think he's seen The Lighthouse?
Well, okay.
Yeah, well,
but he's in 3 of Eggers'
that's
other
like
movies,
Cabin Fever.
and
That was induced by Cabin Fever.
Oh, okay, that. Okay. If we got Joe Paul in the top right corner, which one of you boys are Jerry Sandusky? That's crazy. Marketing motto. I think that it might be Jack since he's killed a few prostitutes in his
What?
Day. Yeah.
I don't see the correlation. I do have a signed Sandusky football.
Oh. I have a signed Joe Paul football and a signed Franklin football. It's great.
It's like, what do you do with the signed Sandusky football?
People might want it.
Somebody out there, but I don't want to be the guy that lists it.
What? Okay.
What am I going to do? Put that on Facebook Marketplace?
No showers with Mike. Don't worry. I am not. Don't worry, Matthew Rice. I wasn't going to have one.
He doesn't shower. Don't worry.
Actually,
talking about you or Mike McQuarrie?
What? Okay.
Do you know who Mike McQuarrie is?
Wasn't he also indicted in that case?
He's the coach that allegedly saw Sandusky in the showers.
That's
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you even use allegedly on that one, but yeah.
I mean, we're gonna say allegedly just in case, but good thing Sandusky's in prison. That's all I'll say. He's there, and he can rot. Isn't he alive still, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried to get out during COVID, but they wouldn't let him
out. Jack, do you think those 2 guys are gonna get out from that show from Netflix in the fall? You know, they killed their parents.
The Menendez twins?
Yeah, the Menendez brothers.
There's certainly a lot more public backing of them. So maybe.
You know who Michael Franzese is?
No.
He's a mob boss who does like a bunch of interviews. He has a YouTube channel. He's actually a pretty cool guy. Good listen if you ever like to, I don't know, get involved, like interested in any of that stuff, like how the mob worked and how they actually made money. But he, funnily enough, he went to prison. He went to federal prison, but he was in the same prison as the Menendez brothers.
Michael.
And he talks about his experience with them. Francis, I'll pull it up here.
Okay. I just found his YouTube channel. Yeah, this guy looks cool. This guy looks exactly like how you would expect. So he's former, or is he?
It's
still
embarrassment to even call.
Former capo.
Well, obviously former, because he's not going to be giving away mafia
family,
secrets.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be alive. But this is,
well, you never know. Like he could still very well be involved, and he's just giving away old secrets, like from.
Well, it's kind of like the CIA. Are you ever really out?
That's like O.J. Simpson writing his book, "If I Did It."
the O.J. I'm so glad O.J. Simpson ate it last year.
Died.
Yes, his whole case is half the reason we ended up with Obama, and Obama's the whole reason why Americans still think they're racist or some stupid shit. Like
Such a racist country it elected a black man as president.
Yup, such a racist country that
he was only half black. That's why it was so racist.
Wasn't even born here, Jack. He wasn't even born here.
He wasn't born here. He is an American. You cannot elect him.
I bet that's
Barack Hussein Obama.
I bet that's what they were laughing at when Trump and Obama were together at the funeral.
No, Trump just whispers over at him. Were you actually born?
You can admit it now. You can just everything's over.
Just tell me. Just tell me.
Yeah, Jesus loves you. Wolfman is probably going to be garbage.
I've heard it's ass.
I saw The
already.
Invisible Man. That was fucking terrible.
I've heard it's ass already. And I can't wait for Severance season 2. I love Severance.
Yeah, I love the first season of Severance.
The first season of Severance is one of the favorite TV shows.
I remember last year I saw this terrible Kit Harington movie where he played a werewolf dad.
Oh.
And it was like an allegory for domestic abuse. It's just like, this is so stupid.
Kit Harington, like all of the actors, I feel so bad for all the actors from Game of Thrones because they are such good actors, and almost all of them, except for the old people who are already good at acting, have been in shit since then. Like none of them have been able to do
karma. It's karma for them not pushing D&D, the two writers, the two terrible writers.
Everyone hated it. Everyone hated that last season. Nobody liked it. Like there's not a single person who's liked that last season. It's also
only contrarians, and not even they buy it.
Also, by the way, what you think about Smile 2? Speaking,
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either. I heard it's better than the first one, and I thought the first one was creative, so I need to get around to it. Though The Substance, I'm so happy The Substance is winning some awards because
it's going to be playing in theaters again.
It is so good. The Substance, as a gay person, it is everywhere on gay Twitter for a reason. It is.
How do you feel about Emilia Perez getting nominated for awards? Have you seen that?
Wasn't she the one? Was she the other actress from that?
Oh, she's not an actress. It's a movie.
Emilia Perez. Wait. Oh, that movie. Wasn't it really tiny or something?
There's a subplot, or there's a plot point where it involves getting a drug cartel crime boss a sex change surgery.
Oh.
And it's a musical, so they have like a musical segment talking about singing about the sex change surgery. So it's essentially Wicked. It's essentially Wicked.
I hate Wicked. Wicked.
It's essentially everything. What people said Wicked was. Wicked actually wasn't bad. I'm just gonna be straight up. Wicked wasn't bad, but Emilia Perez is everything people said Wicked was going to be.
I hate Wicked. I wish that I wish that would have not have happened. Like that movie would have failed. I thought that movie was gonna crumble. I'm so pissed.
I'm not pissed at all. Like, because I watched it and I'm just like, hey, this is actually kind of a right-wing movie. This is kind of a right-wing movie.
Wait, okay. Jack, so is this movie you're talking about just basically the Queen of Melrose? Do you know who that person is? They are the worst person ever. It's so bad. It's basically just a man who everyone knows in Hollywood, and he just dresses up like a woman, but he still has a voice like this, like RFK, and he does all these interviews with his wig. It's basically just the "It's Ma'am" guy, and he's apparently like a big fashion designer or something. He's like the weirdest person I've ever seen. Is it basically just that? Because he has this guy also has connections to the mob too. It sounds exactly like a biography of this dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, Emilia Perez is the one with Selena Gomez. Like her acting is that whole movie is bad. It's baffling how it's nominated for anything, let alone Best Picture.
Selena Gomez got fat. Selena Gomez got fat, and that's all.
Some people like fat chicks, Michael.
By the way, my one friend and I are to keep have like. Send each other like cringe content, Jack, constantly, and we've gone down this rabbit hole to now we basically just send like fat people falling downstairs, or like fat people like eating shit, or like just or fat people just being sad, like pathetic. We just
that sounds like a fetish.
That
sounds like a fetish.
We just send these videos to each other. It's not, Jack. It's us making fun of them. Wait,
it sounds like people who watch Mikado Avocado.
I watch all those weird people, Jack. I love following lolcows. Lolcows is a side obsession of mine. They are fascinating people because it makes you feel better about yourself. Like, these people are so awful and can't do anything right. Mihai wants to follow some.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. Any final thoughts?
Wow.
Thank you for joining us. We understand that John wasn't here. Some of you might be disappointed, but hey, we still appreciate you guys tuning in despite that.
Yep.
Until then, I still haven't come up with my slogan. I said I would last time, but I guess don't let your memes be dreams. Godspeed, everybody. Thank you for joining us again on Ciderhaus. We will see you next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. See you then.
Hallelujah.
Have a good weekend.